All right, what's up, guys? So, Omegon. Yeah, I feel like it should be Omegon. It could be Omegon. I don't know. But anyways, they have uploaded a video titled "Where Are They Now? Just a Robot." Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, maybe this video might, I guess, tell me some information that I haven't heard. But for the most part, I think we all know just a robot. He ain't doing anything productive. I think he is trying to. I think he's trying to rebuild his legacy back up and then trying to get himself back in the drama. If I had to guess, but if not that, I think I don't know. I feel like that's really the only thing I could possibly think of. I've been, for those I guess that are new to my channel and you don't really know me, I've been dealing with just a robot a lot longer than anybody else has. And that's what I've seen from him is that he'll build his channel up, then he'll do some drama videos. So yeah, I just think that I don't know. I don't think he realizes or understands that it's like you're still in a cancellated like state and things. Like you're not going to have that same career that you had before. So yeah, you could come back to drama, but is it going to benefit you or is it going to benefit the person that you're talking about? So that's why I'm like, yeah, if he does a video on me, I'm like, I know I ain't got nothing to worry about. I know there's people that are kind of, I guess, observing his channel, but they're not really watching his videos and stuff, disliking and all of that. And he has like, I think this false like mindset when it comes to who's like really paying attention to his channel. Cause yeah, I think what he thinks that his fans are like, oh, okay, they're coming back and all this other stuff. I'm getting positive comments. And it's like, bro, but yeah, it's like that. Yeah, those are just the ones that are wanting to comment and like the video. Trust me, you got a lot of people paying attention to you where they are upset with your actions and stuff, and then you not taking accountability for your actions. It's like, no, let's talk about fart fetishes and some other random crap that ain't had nothing to do with what I'm being canceled for. Yeah. I just think that with him, it's like he really needs to. I think he really needs to go through some crap when it comes to content creating, just so he could get a better understanding. Like, if you're trying to make this into a career, you can't be joking around with it. You can't be dangling it over a fire and stuff. Like, you have to be serious about your career. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I just confuses the life out of me the route that he went down. But no, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Omegon for more videos like this. And with that being said, it's a long video, so I'm probably going to bump the speed. But anyways, 4 is just insane. I'm like, you ain't even gonna sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. I don't know anybody that's gonna watch a video on 4. But anyways,
please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you.
Well, isn't this just fantastic?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Where Are They Now? Today we're going to be taking a look at Just a Robot, a man who destroyed himself because he's too dyslexic, his own words, and too autistic, his own words, to comprehend information. So naturally he made a video covering something that he didn't know anything about. It was of course leaked, but that's what you get for trusting snakes. Sorry, the internet. When you should have just made content you are strong at. Like inserting yourself into anime drama. Yep. Anyway, I made over the course of this year a number of videos.
yeah, it's like content that you're interested in. Like that's one of those things where somebody were to ask me, like, let's say if they were doing a documentary about just a robot, and somebody asked me why do I think he made that video, I honestly wouldn't know how to answer that question. It'd be one of those things where I'm like, I don't know why he decided to make that video. All the different videos that he could have made where he could have did a lot more for his channel, but he decided to go down that route. Like all the videos that he's uploaded afterwards, why not have uploaded those videos first? And then whenever, I guess, like you would have had time to sit down and work on this video about Cinnabare. But no, yeah, he came out and said it though on why he did that, because he wanted to have her in his corner and stuff, and I guess have like it's like a team of a bunch of different canceled creators or something like that. So yeah, I just think that would have been a horrible team. I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like kind of like when a basketball team, when they try to build a dream team, but they're getting like athletes that's close to retirement. That's not a dream team. That's a retirement team. That's like that one final time team. But anyways, back to the video
I'm not
though.
going to go through every single video, like his lengthy discussion with Boblax, because that was a 5-parter, or his discussion with Yen, that was on Omegon 2. I will, though, choose one of those Boblax conversations and play that, along with all the other content we made. So you have the grand scope and big picture as to why this colossal smeghead made a third channel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, if that's even possible. Today we're going to be looking at Just a Robot's recent response, long-awaited, long overdue, perhaps a bit too late response to much of the criticism he received for going to bat for Cinebear. It was a bad response.
That second
and
response
I doubt
video.
It gets any better, but I have faith in him to dazzle us. Before we dive into the video, we should look at the description.
Dang, that video has 737 dislikes.
When I first saw the video, it had mostly likes, now mostly just dislikes. This video is gaining some steam and traction, but mostly in the negative, and the comments aren't so much on his side anymore. So the description reads, "Sorry if this video took me so long. I had to gather the receipts. I will be going over the allegations involving the Cinebear situation, the simping, getting a 17-year-old to draw something they shouldn't have drawn, being creepy towards others at VidCon, and stuff involving someone else on my channel. I don't know what the reaction to this video will be, honestly."
Oh, that was the first response video. Yeah, it's like, that's the thing that confuses me. He puts creepy in quotations, and it's like, you were being creepy. Like, he's trying to tell it in his likings to where it benefits him, but it's like, no, fam, you creep people out. Like, I don't think you understand that. It's one of those things where I feel like that it shouldn't have to happen again, but I feel like it's one of those things where it has to happen again in order for him to be like, okay, yeah, well, he was like, well, maybe I am kind of creepy, but it's my autism, it's my dislike. No, bro, you can't blame that on everything. That's just you doing that crap. So, but yeah, I don't get the whole like creepy in quotations, because I think they said the second year they were sitting off at the table. I would imagine that those events, it ain't like that there's this table where it's like everybody has to be at, like all the different. So from what I remember them saying it, maybe I got it wrong or something. It has been a while since I watched that video, but from what I remember them saying, they said that they had, I think it was the same group of people. They all met up, was sitting at this table. I would imagine at them VidCon events is at kind of like a convention center, right? Convention centers are usually pretty big. Like there's areas where you can chill at and you ain't got to be around people that you ain't getting along with and stuff. So anyways, he shows up, just a robot, and he sits pretty much next to them and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I don't know if they sat there first or but it's like, because it's like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the video. But yeah, I'm like, fam, it was like 1 year, okay. 2 years of you being weird? Nah, bro. That's one of those things. I ain't even gonna let it get to the third strike. You got to the third strike the second year. So I'm like, you did enough that first time to where it's like it counted as 2 strikes. Yeah, that last time, I'm like, nah, bro. You're being weird, okay? It's like there ain't no quotations of being creepy. No, you are being creepy.
Talented writer. I don't know how to articulate my words correctly. I just hope this video goes over well, but it's up to you to decide and come to your own conclusion. In the pinned comment, maybe uploading this video makes things better for me or worse for me. Time will tell if people will make a bunch of videos saying Jar beat the allegations, or Jar's response made him look worse. Well, that's the T-channel title, isn't it? I'm not the most socially aware person, so I don't know what the reaction to this will be, but I'm not just going to run away and say nothing. Thanking his girlfriend, roommate for support, and then at the end, see you guys in August. Right. Is Jar taking a hiatus? Handy thing about this video is that you've put some timestamps here, and I want to go through let's say the first 26 minutes, because I don't care about the animations drawing, I don't care about the fart fetish, VidCon, Miss Anthropony, Kumo, couldn't care less. End thoughts we might address in this video as well.
Hey everyone, it's been a while. In fact, it's been a couple of months. These last few months have been very chaotic to say the least, and I know a lot of you have many questions. You're curious about my side of the story.
Obligatory fair use interruption. I don't believe in the online space. You taking as much time away when you could have made other content was as good for your channel as you might think. There is a possibility you could have ridden this out, but you didn't. Now I understand that when you get negativity, you take time away. Again, I fully get that. But when you've made a 40+ minute video on this, it tells me you have a certain obsessive tendency where you want to air your side in its fullest form, as if that would somehow help.
Don't worry, I brought receipts. I know most people won't care for what I have to say. The tea has gone cold and they've moved on talking about people like Mudahar and Nuxtaku.
Now there's a point to that. I've only seen Chris the Narc's response, or he has done a response, I haven't watched it, because I didn't want to echo what he said, basically. And you waiting so long could well go so far as to explain why, because others like Chud Logic will flay you for it if they haven't already. Again, I haven't looked for responses. I just know about Chris's from Twitter. In the context of you, waiting for it to go cold means there's less chance of you getting much backlash so you can get on with your work. If this is still your job, that is.
But at least you're here watching this unmonetized video of mine, so you don't have to even worry about giving me money by viewing this video. Or maybe you're just viewing this through someone else's live stream who's looking to farm a few more clicks off of me.
If I had in my hand a salt shaker and I proceeded to pour it without the cap on onto the floor, there still wouldn't be as much salt on the floor as there is coming out of this video.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I f***ed up. I really dropped the ball on this.
Yeah, because it's like, fam, ain't nobody trying to get clips out of you and stuff. The funny thing is that everybody that has made videos on you can move on to bigger and better things. And it would benefit their channel more than talking about you. I feel like that with Just a Robot, that he really does look at himself as like this high almighty figure, and it's like, bro, you're not that. My thing is this: if you were that, like, all that damage that you did to my channel, it would have been like, damage that lasted a lifetime, I guess like a whole career and stuff. It only lasted a few years, and then even the damage that you've done to other people, it's only lasted if not less than a few years, so it's like you've done more damage to yourself than you've done others. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I ain't never had to look up and see after Just a Robot that made a video on me. Well, it might be I have to check. I don't think I got no videos that's like in the 700s when it comes to dislikes from his fan base. So yeah, it's like there's like very few fans that you have, but I think what he thinks that, because I have a big YouTube channel, and it's like, fam, it's not big. Trust me, it's one of those things where I'm like, there's people with less subscribers than you that have a bigger channel than you. So yeah, it's one of those things where I know people probably would ask for a little bit of an explanation on that, but I'm like, I'll probably save that for a separate video. But no, yeah, I just think that he looks at himself as this high almighty figure, and it's like, bro, you're not that guy. Like, you never have been, you never will be. You're just a random person on the internet. But anyways,
I can't even say that I was manipulated or enabled to get involved with the cine drama, because both my roommate and my girlfriend and even my neighbor told me that what I was doing was stupid and reckless.
It got funnier for many of us creators who have, like myself, held on to receipts of you being a douche for years towards your avatar artist, for example. Yes. It's even funnier when you, in the video you released,
I didn't know that,
cited Cinebear as your source for much of the credible information you used to make your points. And then when you had her in a conversation, you didn't ask any questions, you sucked her off. You did nothing but enable and made it worse for yourself, no matter how many times people in your building told you this was a bad idea. You still ran with it. Because tunnel vision, fam, and that bias really does you no favors.
Even I knew that defending someone from the ArcCC with allegations this serious would more than likely go bad for me. I, along with everybody who was close to me, expected me to get some.
And that's the thing that just confuses me. So why would you go through with it? Like, my thing is this, so I guess I can partially relate, because I would say that he was a fan of Cinebear, and with me, it's like I was a fan of EDP 445. You'll never find a defense video from me with EDP. Matter of fact, people probably don't even know that I was a fan of EDP up until now, or unless there was other times where I mentioned I was a fan of EDP. But no, yeah, it's when all his stuff had went down, I deleted. So I did have videos up like where I was reacting to his content. I took that down, and yeah, I was all like, the only content I think I have up of EDP was a podcast episode that I did a while ago where I was talking about his situation. But other than that, I'm like, as far as the videos, because I didn't want people to get the wrong impression with me, where it's like, so let's say if I still would have had those videos up, I'm thinking people are gonna be like, oh, you still a fan, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And so yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, to eliminate that conversation, I went ahead, took those videos down. There were some good videos. Like, I have to say, I think for the most part, every EDP reaction video that I posted was like, it was in the thousands when it came to views. And I think it was at one point my most viewed video. I was like, at the time being, years ago, it was like at 100,000 views, and then yeah, all that stuff had went down. I was like, I had to take the video down. I was like, yeah, I had to cut the loss on that, but at the same time, I did, regain that number and a lot more. So that's why I'm like, I never really trip when it comes to stuff like that. It's like, if somebody that I'm a fan of, if they do something crazy and I gotta take down their videos, then yeah, I'm like, hey, I ain't tripping about it. So I guess, like, if there is any content that I do have uploaded where it's like the person that did something is somebody I'm a fan of, then yeah, let me know. I'll take the video down. But anyways,
backlash.
you ain't gonna see no defense video.
They're not even telling me they told me so because they didn't even expect it to get this bad. But before I get into what's going on and all the allegations against me, I would like to apologize to a few people.
He goes on to apologize to his girlfriend, his roommate, his neighbor, his editor. People I have no vested interest in, so whether the apology is sincere or not, considering who Jar is not something I care about.
Yeah.
So we're going to move beyond his apologies.
He's probably, and it's like, when you think about it, he probably was just saying that, I guess, because did he apologize in that second response video to them? I don't feel like, because I feel like he took down the video, the original response, to redo it, but I don't remember. I don't know. I don't particularly care for going back and watching it. It might get discussed in this video again, but if not, then yeah, no, I think that he just overall did that to, like, I guess, like, you know, be on their good graces and things. But anyways,
I'm going over a lot more than just the Cine stuff in this video, because just about every bad or questionable thing I have done is out there now.
Not gonna lie, I fully understand why you felt the need to make a encyclopedia-style video with everything in it, but the Cine stuff should be on its own. Truthfully, it should. Because if you want to cover everything, you'd have to go back to the very beginning when you made videos responding to people within communities that you were a part of, that you disliked, and then insert yourself into dramas to make content around that and farm that. See, that earlier mentioned salt applies here, or the hypocrisy of it anyway.
If you're only here for one specific allegation and you
That's
don't
a
care
fact.
to watch this entire video, don't worry, I will be providing timestamps for specific allegations. The biggest problem with my video draft about City by far is how soft I went on her.
Soft? Fam, you asked her for her sources so you could use it in your video defending her. You didn't go soft. You went full White Knight. I might argue you went, and if you remember the song, you'll get it, you went full Macintosh.
I regret that even more now due to the fact that new information has been released about Cine. I don't like being lied to, especially by people who wanted my help, but I fell for what she told me, being the gullible fool that I am. I didn't believe that Cine is a—
but then he did that video on his own, like, I guess, like, he did it for his own reasons. Like, it was, I don't even remember hearing Cinebear reaching out and being like, hey, could you do this defense video for me? I thought it was always where he seen the drama that she was going through. He decided to do that video and then got in contact with her and stuff. And then that's how that went about. But I don't ever remember hearing, I guess that was just a part of the video I'd never really paid attention to. But no, yeah, it's like, from what I did this past year, and I feel like that I paid close attention to this Cinebear and Just a Robot stuff. I ain't never heard nothing about her reaching out to him. Maybe she did, and it was just something that, like, you know, it went in one ear and out the other. But yeah, if not, then it's like, fam, you can't even blame her. Like, you did that on your own wrongdoing. So, like, that's why I'm like, Just a Robot. It's just, when he does videos, you really gotta, like, fact check a video that he'll upload, because it's not gonna be accurate. It's like, Just a Robot, I have to say, if there's, he might not be National Enquirer level, but he's somebody that's trying to be like National Enquirer. So yeah, it's like, he'll tell a fabricated truth pretty much, because yeah, his videos, it's like, yeah, you can't, if you leave out of his videos thinking you done learned some valuable information, you have been fooled. Okay, like, that's what's happened to you.
And I still don't believe she's a people. I don't believe she had a desire to get with the minor or exchange nudes with the minor. I never said what Cine did was okay. I said it was wildly inappropriate and an optics nightmare.
It's a shame then that when you had the chance to speak to her, you didn't say this. I remember the video, you didn't really. You padded it, you softened the blow, you didn't go out of your way to really drill these points home. You instead sought to caress her ego. I don't believe that she's a PDF either. I believe the images she shared with a minor far too young were far too inappropriate. You can argue like you did about the anime stuff. Yes, I remember that quite well.
I guess, like, my opinion on the matter with her is that, you know, we might not know what would have happened, I guess, if she would have continued going on, but it definitely would have been a situation where I think somebody would have got hurt, and it would have been her, you know. And it's one of those things, you know, you got to sit down and think about, like, that's how some of these situations be starting with pedophiles and groomers and stuff like that. You know, it's like, yeah, they start off with something where they will say it's innocent. They'll say, oh, I ain't mean nothing behind it. So you can't really, I guess, I don't know, like, you can't really know the book when you just only seeing the cover and stuff. But yeah, I feel like that she would have continued going, it definitely would have led to something where it's like, yeah, I feel like the tone with or the conversation surrounding her, it would have been a little bit more darker. So yeah, maybe in the makings, But if not, then yeah, full blown pedophile. Like in my opinion, pedophile, predator, groomer, whatever you want to call her. I just think that you having conversations like that with a minor, why? Like all the conversations you guys could talk about video games, movies, music. I'm trying to think TV shows. I'm trying to what else? Like electronic. Like there's so many different things where it could be a PG conversation that you could have. Like if that's the case, then yeah, you just have horrible social skills to where it's like you don't need to talk with people if you can't even I guess separate like the age groups and stuff. You're all like, oh, I'm just gonna have this conversation with anybody, and I don't. Yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't just be like have a I don't care attitude with a conversation. You have to realize who you're talking to and realize that like, okay, I can't have no crazy conversation with this individual. But anyways,
And the counterpoint to that is, didn't Japan change their age of consent though? It was a lot lower, yes, but no. Your point was absolutely asinine.
Usually I would expect that if someone was grooming, that the groomer would intend to get with them. At least this was my thought process at the time, based off of all the other grooming cases I have seen. I didn't believe she did what she did out of malicious intent or to hurt anyone. I really believe that she was just incredibly socially retarded, along with the fact that I really wanted to believe that she wasn't as guilty as everyone was painting her out to be.
You here admitting your bias is important, because you saw the good. But because you saw the good, you refused to accept the reality of what everyone else saw. You sought instead to justify it by citing anime. I remember you mentioning Naruto. I assume that's an anime. I've only ever heard of Run. Now I know it comes from a TV show of some kind. You were citing it as if it held some weight. The thing is, you're citing it as a weight in a country where at one point when that was released, it was a lower age thing. Yeah? Requirement. In other nations, it's looked at as no, that's what it's looked as.
Along with the fact that she was encouraged to draw suggestive artwork when she was 14. That's why I took pity on her, because I thought what she did was out of stupidity and not malice.
Are we talking about Cindy or you here? Because stupidity and not malice would certainly apply here as well. Also citing what younger people do to justify continuing to do it into your late teens. No, this wasn't anyone morally grandstanding, by the way. It was holding someone accountable for this cock-up. Because when things came out, it didn't look good. Cindy tried to play it off, tried to gaslight, went into shell, took it back, apologized, took it back, went to a house to get cat back, failed at that. It got quite messy, really, didn't it? You, though, in the time where it initially dropped, just started swinging.
I truly believed that I was onto something comparing this to the Pyro drama, because Pyro did learn of Ivory's age when they turned 16, not when they were 15, and he said, and I quote here, shouldn't have continued the furry stuff with him, along with the fact that Pyro got a 15-year-old who he knew was 15 to draw a thicker, lewder, sexier version of his avatar.
This, though, was debunked, because the DM exchanges showed Cindy knew they were 14. You can skip over the Discord logs if you like, or use that as a form of ignorance to justify not knowing, but Cindy did know. And you had access to all of those Google documents, hundreds of pages worth. Age was mentioned multiple times.
yeah, and that was, I guess, for those that didn't know that, like why they might get mentioned in this video, but the reason why he didn't go over the documents because he wanted his roommate to be there with him to go over the documents. Meanwhile, his roommate is, I think, there's like on a business trip or whatever and stuff. And it's like, why? My thing is this. That's something that I've always have said about Just a Robot is that why is it that multiple people have to run your channel? You need to, and I'm like, my thing is this, editor, thumbnail creator, stuff like that. Okay, cool. But when it comes down to like writing a script, doing research, all that stuff, that needs to be up to you. Like, my thing is this. I'm not in no place to judge when it comes to how to run a channel and all that other stuff. But I'm just saying, I guess, like, if somebody were to ask me, how do I run my channel? I run it on my own. If I want to create a thumbnail, I'll create a thumbnail. If I want to edit a video, I'm editing the video. If I need to do research, I'm going to do research. I'm not going to put this off on other people. Then when some stuff goes down, I'm like, oh, well, my roommate wasn't here with me, so that's why I couldn't. So it's your roommate's fault that you didn't want to do this video properly. You have all the time in the world to do this video. I'm saying it's stuff like that where I'm like, it to me just doesn't even make any sense. It's like, what does your roommate have to do? Like, I feel like that he didn't try to throw his roommate in like under the bus one too many times. Like whoever it like was like Dreadhead or whatever his name is, I definitely reconsider who you have as a roommate. I'm like, roommates should just, yeah, it's like they have like their own business and career things going on, but only like, I guess like, yeah, relationship y'all should have is that you guys pay rent, and pay for anything else that has to go down in the apartment. But other than that, if they're like putting you in a situation where let's say if this really would have like, I guess like blown up, like this whole situation with him and Cinnabear, And then, yeah, like info started getting leaked and all that, like names, identities, all that other stuff. And his roommate, my thing is this: you don't realize how close you came to having it where it's like your whole, like your whatever your career is outside of content. Well, I don't think he's a content creator. I think he just be collaborating with just a robot on his channel. But it very well could have been a situation where your IRL job could have been affected if this situation would have blown up. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm like, from now on, from this day forward, do not get me involved in any of your content. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to have no opinions. I don't want to have no say-sos. I don't want to tag team with you when going up against another creator. This is your channel. This is your career. You do it on your own. I'm not. That's like, okay, my thing is this: if that's the case, then you need to be coming on with me on these business trips and helping me out with my business. So, and it's like, I ain't trying to hear no, my autism, my dyslexia, I can't go. No, I'm like, no, if I'm helping you out with your career, you gotta help me out with my career. It needs to be an equal thing going on.
Cine had to have seen it. Comparing it to Pyrocynical is bad faith on your part, and a rather crappy false equivalence.
I thought to myself, well, if people are okay with Pyro doing this, then why aren't they okay with Cine's actions? I think we all know that if the Pyro drama started with Pyro immediately uploading a video saying, guys, I admit to it, I groomed a minor, and I knew what I was doing was wrong, that drama would have gone completely differently. And I believe that Cine was gaslit into doing that by her roommate who goes by it pronouns.
The problem with this comparison is, and it's quite amusing, when Pyro did respond, outright went on the attack about these accusations, because Pyro must have clearly had enough of a memory to remember all those messages, and certainly provided receipts in that area. In the case of Cine, I like that you put emphasis on the roommate and their pronouns as some kind of negatory in this situation. I will concede, perhaps Cine should have taken some time before giving a response. It cannot, though, be denied, with the information available, Cine didn't look particularly innocent in anything.
When I saw Kumo coming to the same conclusions about Cine that I came to, along with witnessing him beating a few people in debates about it, I thought he might have been onto something, so I decided that I should help her as well. I now realize that not all the chat logs were released between Ivory and Pyro in the same way they were for Cine. Also, I believe Cine released the full logs herself, but I wasn't aware of that when I was working on my video. At least I don't think I was. On top of that, Cine is a repeat offender to a very disturbing degree. It would be like Pyro getting accused of everything he did, with the Call Me Carson allegations on top of that, along with a bunch of other things.
I understand the need to make it a more relatable discussion, but I really don't think it right to compare it to Pyrocynical in the slightest. And this is a fairly obvious point why, because Pyrocynical is still doing well as a creator. Clearly, the optics were not on anyone else's side comparative to that of Pyro. Whether Pyro is in the right or not, that is up to others to decide. In the case of Cine, you shouldn't be using Pyro to make your points, because it still makes it seem like you're trying to paint Cine as if she is somehow innocent, even though you are in this video stating otherwise.
My main understanding of morality is that hypocrisy is the most objectable sin. I also understand that nothing can get you cancelled harder than a child grooming allegation that a lot of people believe. I saw how people flip-flopped on the Pyro drama, so I thought they were about to do the same with this situation.
Couple things. Firstly, when it came to the guy holding the pew-pew, he's 100% guilty. It was ballsed up. The fact he's still trying is hilarious to me. Second,
yeah, he EDP, I guess, for those that don't really know his situation. So yeah, he got called out for being a pedophile. Met up at this location, talking about he was there to get a cupcake, but it's like, yeah, you having an inappropriate conversation with a minor. I think you were here for a lot more than a cupcake. But no, yeah, ruined his career. You know, channels got taken down, social media accounts got taken down. He has tried to like come back and, you know, I guess try to make it seem like that all this stuff is now being ignored and all that. But no, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, nah, bruh, you messed up. you definitely messed up. There ain't no such thing as you coming back and then having a career like how you had before and stuff. Nah, yeah, he was like having to work a 9 to 5. Think he still does work a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with that, but that's really the only thing that he can do. Work a 9 to 5 where people ain't gonna recognize him and stuff. But no, yeah, wasn't he working at like Walmart? He was doing something where it's like people were recognizing him. And yeah, it's like, fam, you can't escape it. Like you gonna have to. If he did own up to it, it just didn't take off. Like if he didn't apologize, but at the same time, it's like you can't really apologize for that stuff. It's like, nah, bro, your thought process with things is bad, you know. And if that's the type of stuff that you like, oh, let me have this inappropriate conversation with a minor. If that's what your thought process is, yeah, bro, your career is. That's why you really don't ever see nobody recover from stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, it's he messed up. That's one thing I'll say about EDP. He definitely messed up.
It seemed like you were playing contrarian. Hypocrisy, you're right, is quite bad. It's a shame many people are too full of themselves and arrogant. Pride is fundamental to that. To see how you can be wrong and how playing the other side cause makes you look like you're weak and that your opinions are based on popular opinion and not your own. Seems familiar, doesn't it?
The first draft of my Cine video was originally made to bash her. That being said, I still went softer on her than most people did, and I was planning to add more to my video draft as the drama went on. I really should have focused on being more professional and objective with a sense of information around Cine. Instead, I took her at her word, and I gave her way more charitability than she deserved.
That is true. You went soft. It's why many people went in on you, accusing you of not having any original opinions. It's why many people looked at your professionalism and accused you of not having any. As far as I was aware, this was, to me, like yourself, a full-time job. That's the wrong way round. To you, like me, a full-time job. There we go. So you have to be objective. You have to, as a commentary channel, you've got to look at these situations carefully. You saying your original draft. It's a bit late to mention that now, though, isn't it? No offense intended. Your performances on Chud Logic, his channel anyway, did you no favors. You went to bat, and you looked even worse. You dug a hole and made it worse, as if you were trying to punish yourself, which I guess makes some sense.
As you can hear at the end of the full call I had with Cine, I said that I would be making a new draft in defense of Cine before I talked to Jack. But, yeah, I'm going to be changing my video a lot, and I'm going to have to reach out to Jack because, you know, for all I know, you're...
Uh-oh! Have fun with that, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to get the video ready because knowing Jack, they're probably going to panic and try to control the narrative. Like, I thought I was being fair by doing that because I only talked to Cine after I had a draft ready to upload on her, but now I can see that was an incredibly stupid move.
You know what you should do? And this might be a bit of a tricky one now anyway, or what you should have done then. You should have spoken to some of the commentary channels who had done response, just to gauge their perspective and understand their opinion. Anyone that did a video...
That's actually a good idea, because my thing is this, if I can't find no information, like let's say if something's trending or going down, and I can't find information that I'm trying to like look for and stuff. No, yeah, I'll do that. I'm like, I'll go and overall, that's what I did with this Just a Robot situation. I didn't know people were all like, oh, Chat Logic ended Just a Robot or roasting him, whatever they were saying. And I'm like, bro, what is going on? So that's when I started opening up some videos, watching, reacting, all that. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm like, I didn't realize that. So, yeah, that's it. Then once when I was able to do my own video, then, yeah, I kind of did talk on my own experience. But, yeah, at least it could match up with what's going on and stuff. You know, at least it ain't going to be something that's like it's out of place and things. But anyways.
Live streamers are a bit more reactive. And I know that's not a dig at them. In the context of Jar, I don't think that would have helped him. I think it would have helped you if you'd done that, instead of isolating or choosing an echo chamber. I didn't reach out to anyone. I was shown the information, looked at it, went, nah, Cine, bad. Like Napster, bad. If that joke went over your head, I'm really sorry, but I'm old and I don't care.
I was planning for Saturday to be a day where I would @ Jack on Twitter, along with a day to look over a whole bunch of videos about Cine to make sure that my information was correct. Unfortunately, the last draft that I was still in the middle of adding stuff to was leaked by Kumo, and I panicked uploaded what I had. As you can see from this screenshot, which is of my Cine video, I uploaded it unlisted on October 10th, which was a Tuesday, and the actual Cine video was planned to go live on Sunday, but then Kumo leaked this version of the video, so I foolishly decided to upload this version because the other one still wasn't finished.
This might be one of those times where hindsight is always going to apply. I rarely share my content with anyone except for patrons. They have access because they paid for that. I only really share with one other person because they share my mindset. I trust them. They've yet to betray that trust because, I don't know, I send them good chocolate, or have done once. I don't know. The point is, I'm
like, I ain't never, I guess like I don't have videos to send out, be like, oh, hey, is this a video? You know, I just upload it. But that's the thing. I don't upload videos where it's like I'm questioning it. If I have to question a video, it's probably best that I don't do that video. And no, yeah, there's been times like with reaction videos, for an example, or even some video games I play. Like, so with reaction videos, there's been times where I reacted to videos that have shown something not gory, but like I guess it can be a little bit traumatizing to some people. Like, for an example, I reacted to this body cam video of this cop, or it was like, so yeah, it was a body cam video, but it wasn't more so about the cop. It was about who the cop was chasing. But this guy was on the bike, started speeding down the road. I think he crashed into a car or something, but or got hit. I don't know. But so anyways, the cop eventually drives up on the guy after he crashed, and he's laid out. The guy's laid out, and then I think, yeah, that's when the cop, he does say in his like walkie-talkie thing, like, yeah, the guy, he's dead, like he passed. And so his body was blurred out, so you don't see nothing. But still, I would imagine that there would be people where they're like, I don't even want to see, even if the body is blurred out. Like, I don't want to see dead bodies. That's something where I'm like, I don't even have to, I guess, ask nobody to. I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna get uploaded and stuff. So even if it is on something where it's like my fans are like, oh, you gotta, like, no, I'm like, dead people are being shown in that video, I gotta have respect for those people and stuff. So yeah, and for the people that are watching and things. But no, and then even with gaming videos, because I think Call of Duty World at War, so I don't know too many people have played that game, but in the beginning they show like I think it's real war footage, and it looked like it shows people getting shot and killed, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't, show that. And it was a time where I was streaming and was playing that game, and then I seen when that part had happened in the it was like the opening trailer, not a trailer, but credits, or the opening scene of the game and stuff. I saw that and I was all like, nope, I have to in stream start in that game, and then just start playing something else. I might own that game, but I'm like, I'll play it on my own time. But it's just, I don't know how people are going to take things and stuff. So at least for me, it's like I could say that I don't know. I have a little bit more respect when it comes for the content. But if I got to question it, then it's not gonna get uploaded. But if I'm not questioning, then I'm like, it's something where I'm like, okay, I don't know. I guess like me and my fans, we might be different, but I feel like for the most part, I ain't never heard nobody trip over the content that I've uploaded, like it's traumatized them or it's upset them or whatever the case may be. But anyways.
Or you are talking about how you acted when you should have never shared any of this until you were certain. But that's, again, one of the main gripes many have with you, and that is that you don't have original opinions. You have to rely on others to, persuade you. Yet when those closest to you persuaded you not to, you decided to go against them. If there was an I told you so dance they could perform or wanted to perform, they could have done so.
I don't do YouTube full-time. I have a job. I have Saturdays and Sundays off. That's why I was trying to do extra research on Saturday.
Well, now that answers one of my questions. I was curious if this was your full-time job. Now you've confirmed it is not. I do believe at one point it must have been, though, because you were doing really well, even after all the hacks on your accounts. And the dramas you got involved in, which was undoubtedly not very good for your health. You changed the type of content you were making, which undoubtedly led to decrease in views. Well, thank you for that information. I have no doubt in my mind this will never be a full-time job for you going forward.
He got it through Romantic Goblin, as I was in the middle of asking people to look over it to see if there was any mistakes I needed to correct. I asked people like Miss Anthropony, Akumu, not to be confused with Kumo, and others if they could look over my video. I was even debating on whether I should have Chud look it over because he knew about the Cine situation. My roommate was also on a business trip and coming home on Saturday. I was planning to look over both docs with him very carefully. I have the worst case of dyslexia in the world, so it's very hard for me to do that myself. Yeah, my dyslexia often leads me to focus more on what I can hear.
Like, the thing is, there was this kid, I remember, they actually had discovered right there in the class that he might have dyslexia based off of his handwriting and stuff. And I don't know what his, I guess if it was severe or not, but overall, though, it was like, if he graduated, let's just say that much. He did graduate. I don't know if it was something where he was always dyslexic or it was something that it started happening while he was in high school. But either way, though, my thing is this. I'm like, I guess it can't be that bad, talking on just the robot's dyslexia. It can't be that bad but no, the reason why I say that is because all the other different videos that you've done all these other different videos. Then when it comes time for you to do a video where it actually matters, that's when all of a sudden now my dyslexia, all the different. So when you were, it's like when you sit down and think about it, even the videos that he did on me, he didn't do all the research that he needed to do. He just did those videos. He does videos based off of emotion. He doesn't do videos based off of doing research and actually trying to have something either good or bad come out of the videos. No, he does videos, however his emotions is feeling towards that subject, then that's when he'll, it'll either be a good or bad video for that person. He wanted this to be a good video, but it's like, fam, it's a bad situation. You can't make a good video on a bad situation unless you're agreeing with the majority audience. But you're trying to change the majority audience's opinion on the matter and then think everybody's gonna be cool with it. what sense does that make? Like, that's why then, like, even when he did the videos on me, I was like, fam, after I sat down and watched these videos, I'm like, yeah, these were like emotional, like these were emotion-based videos. It wasn't like people are going to watch these videos and learn some valuable information. You're just talking about all the things that I did to either piss you off or saying, oh, he lied about this, he did that and stuff. And it's like, okay, and like, what what does that got to do with anything? Like, there's people, my thing is this: when you upload a video, and I guess like if you're uploading a video about me, you got to think of your audience and what they're doing with their, you know, I guess like personalized. And then when they have that free time to actually do something, like, no, yeah, there were a lot of his fans that were supporting him on this take down TMossBoss journey and stuff. But my thing is that I think what he was trying to do is that he wanted to upload those videos and then have it where everybody agreed with it. But overall, though, these are the people that are on the internet, all right? You got full-blown parents. You got somebody that's probably taking care of one, if not multiple kids. You have it where there's people that are working 9 to 5, stressed out to the max, okay? But then on they even just talking to that, it's like, then yeah, you got where people they're trying to, I guess, following their career paths on whatever it is that they want to do. You got where people they're all like, bump that. I want to be a person that hands out opportunities. I'm going to create a business. You got those type of people on the internet. You got somebody that's going through school, whether it's middle school, maybe elementary and stuff. But yeah, elementary, middle school, I'd highly doubt it. If they're, well, some of the people that were like, you know, it was the way that they think. It's like you would thought they were in elementary, but you got people going through school, probably college and stuff. They got a lot on their plate with that. That's who you're making videos for. You're making videos for people that got a lot on their plate. Do you honestly think that they want to come home from a long day of work or a long day of school and watch this is why I don't like TMossBoss, or this is why you guys need to like this predator or pedophile or groomer or whatever you want to call it and stuff? That's not videos people want to watch. So yeah, his senses when it comes to content creation, it's like, yeah, I can see why it's not full time, because it's just you're not fully there. But anyways,
rather than what I can read.
Well, I guess that answers the query of reaching out to other creators, which you've done, and whether or not if it would entitle the Google Docs Harry Potter and the Cinebet allegations if you could have read it. No offense intended, but you are right now making excuses, okay? That is how it is going to be seen. That is how many are going to interpret it. You are fobbing things off a little. You've taken some responsibility, but you are still fobbing it because you need to provide the context, and I fully understand that. It's a certain mentality many people have. This, though, does not help in the slightest.
Now I want to make this clear. When I have people look over certain drafts of videos I've made, I'm not just going to blindly agree with whatever opinion they have. If they disagree with something in my video, I have a discussion with them about it. That being said, 9 out of 10 times it comes down to just me rewording a certain point. I can't even begin to tell you all the different opinions people gave me on how I should go about making my response to all the allegations.
This is what baffles me, because I sit here and I absorb the information. I also, like yourself, work. I sat here, I went through the Google Docs, I found the parts that were clearly quite bad, the parts that would stand out the most in a video, and I made my video with that. I looked at Cindy's response, I looked at the fallout and the other backpedaling responses, I consumed it. I have a mentality where I have to take it in for myself, and if I don't understand it, I don't talk about it. It's why I didn't make anything on the Muta stuff, because I really didn't get it, or the Boblack stuff, because I still don't really get it. And that's because I'm not as balls deep in that stuff. I'm really not. When it came to you, I took a special interest, especially because of how you handled this, and because, well, my avatar artist is yours. Was yours, and I still credit mine. But additionally with the Cinebet stuff, it wasn't nuanced, it wasn't complicated. To try and treat it as such was quite crap. Let's face it, it was. And waiting for others to give opinions isn't helpful, hardly conducive.
This is why I was considering having Chud look over the video, because I considered him to be an objective person. Granted, I went back and forth on whether I wanted him to look over it privately or on a live stream. I was also encouraged to have Chud look over my video by people like Romantic Goblin and Cinny. I agreed to do this, even though I didn't know that much about Chud. I just knew he did a video on me a really long time ago, and out of any video I've ever seen on me...
I'm like, I don't, cause yeah, I'm sitting here thinking of that. I'm like, dang, I'm like, what's the beef that Omegon got with just the robot, I guess. Like, I would like to just hear from him. Like, it might get explained a little bit more, but I know like this video is just more of a coverage video. But just like, what is your, I guess, like, what's your situation? What's your beef with? Just because everybody knows my situation with him, and I think it might be the same for some other creators and stuff. But I'm like, yeah, I guess, like, I don't know. I have to, because this is my first time ever watching the video. I've always have seen videos from Omegon. Like if I were to look up like, oh, somebody's like, hey, new Just a Robot video got uploaded, then yeah, I'll search, see his video. I feel bad because I'm like, I feel like I should have been watching his videos, because this video is actually, it's all the videos I've seen where people are talking about Just a Robot, they're good, they're pretty good and stuff. But yeah, I would like to know, because yeah, it sounds like it's like the the Avatar editor creator and stuff. It sounds like it's there, like that's the root. But yeah, I'm like, dang, it's just he don't like him. But I'm like, hey, it's one of those things where that I wouldn't, because I know people will probably be all like, you don't like Just a Robot either. I wouldn't say that I don't like him. I just don't want to be bothered by him. Like he could exist in the world. He could exist in content creating, all that stuff. I just don't want to be bothered by him. But it takes a lot for me to hate people and not like them and all that other stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll get annoyed and not want to be bothered by them. Like I just want to like drown them out with whatever. But no, yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where that's just how I feel. I know people are like, oh, is there room for you guys to do videos? No, not at all. I like, when I say I don't want to be bothered, I mean like I don't want to be like, I don't want the name Just a Robot to like, I don't want it to be shown, or I don't want to see it and stuff. But I mean, when it's content like this, then yeah. But I guess like if it's on some stuff kind of like how it was some years back, where when the drama between me and him was active, it was like every day where his fans were harassing me about some crap. And yeah, that I just don't want to deal with. But stuff like this, I'm like, no, I'm all for it. So, but anyways.
I thought it was the best one ever made.
So we've reached a bit of a point here about who you could have gone to, who you should have gone to, who you might have considered, right? A lot of hindsight, nothing really of substance. As far as I'm concerned, you should have just not bothered and carried on making the content you made, because that would have been better for your channel. But that again is hindsight, isn't it? You put that video out there because you genuinely believed Cine wasn't in as much of the wrong as everyone was portraying, yet 300 plus pages of Google Docs said otherwise. And Cine's behaviour after did not help, which of course did change your mind, but that's a bit late, isn't it? We as commentary channels don't get many chances to correct wrongs.
Ironically, he was covering my video on cancel culture.
Never know for what or when you'll be cancelled. Maybe you were live streaming and you suddenly screamed out the N-word. Maybe you lied about a drama which caused people to dig into your past about other dramas you have talked about. Maybe you're completely innocent and the allegations against you are false. But too many people are against you and they won't listen. Or maybe you don't have the evidence to prove your innocence. I know cancellation will come from
Yeah, I think that was like when he, I think because it was a while ago where he got called out for being a racist. And it's like, well, fam, when you reference a movie where it's about racism, that American History X movie, and then there was that clip of you where you were saying how you were on a date with a black woman, and she asked you what's your favorite type of train, and you was all like, oh, what's your favorite type of chicken or basketball team, something like that, however it went. And then on top of that, then there was the one person that came out and told me that you joined their Discord server, or it was in Discord. I don't know whether you joined or whatever the case. I'll have to like, I think, because I think it was a call. I'm like, it's one of those, I'm like, I guess if I was taking a statement, then yeah, I'll reach out and ask them. I'm like, so what do you remember from that day? But yeah, overall though, there was a time where I guess he was in the Discord server and he was just saying the N-word because like, I guess so from what the person had told me, in his words, that his roommate gave him a pass. And so that's why he was just in the Discord server. But I think it was like on top of that too, like he went in there and was like making fun of, I guess like it was somebody that just got married, like making fun of their appearances and things. And so it's like, fam, like you're one of those individuals where it's like you're toxic. People don't want you around and stuff. Like, yeah, I guess like IRL, you got your friends, family, whoever and stuff, girlfriend, roommate, all that stuff. But when it comes to the internet, it's like, fam, you have done things that where people are like, yeah, that's why you're in the situation that you're in today. But it's like, that ain't people lying on you. That's people trying to like, and I just think that because that's his whole thing. Oh, if you don't have no evidence or showcasing and stuff, you just saying it just based off of like whatever, yeah, your words and things. And he's like, oh, therefore I'm not going to believe you. But it's like, okay, so my question is, because I feel like he has like this weird split personality thing. So I'm like, so was it just a robot that was doing it, or was it Luke that was doing it? Because I'm like, whoever it was, they joined in underneath either the Just a Robot alias or the Luke alias, whatever. But it's like, yeah, they were in that Discord server being racist, so yeah, that's not my thing. Is this, when I done talked on my racist experiences from you and your fan base, and then other people done talked on a racist experience from you and your fan base, and they just people talking on just a racist experience, but even stuff coming out fam, that's not, people ain't gonna lie about that. Why would anybody lie about that? Why would somebody just come up out of the blue? Why would I even come up out of the blue and make that series of videos where I was calling your fans out for being a racist? Then, no, the funny thing is, then I did show evidence. I did show evidence how his fans was being racist, and they're all like, that was some of the stuff that his fans were saying, like, that's not all of us. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, but it still came from his fan base. What part of that are you guys not understanding? So yeah, I just think that when it came down to him being called out on stuff, if it wasn't stuff like, I guess, like, yeah, that's how it needs to be. It needs to be caught on video. So my question, or my thing is this to anybody out there, where if Just a Robot joins your Discord server, if you have some form of call or conversation with Just a Robot where it's verbal, like you guys are like, it ain't typed up, even if it is typed up, capture all of that. I'm like, from this day forward, anybody that has a conversation with Just a Robot, record it, because he most like, I feel like it is going to get to a point where he is going to say something racist or crazy in a Discord call, video, whatever. And well, I mean, yeah, he did do the one video where he defended the Confederate flag, so I feel like that, but he did take down that video because, yeah, it was like, that was just benefiting people's arguments and stuff. So yeah, it's like, I just, he's trying to hide from it because he knows that is one thing that could really get him canceled. But yeah, because it's like, racist people don't really survive when it comes to, maybe in this day and age, because you got Trump supporters and all that other stuff. But other than that, it's just, yeah, I don't know if he's really a political person and things. But no, yeah, I think that if that stuff were to come out of him being racist, that, yeah, it could be bad for him. Like if it was like a lot of evidence and all that stuff built up, you would think with all the stuff that exists now that, yeah, it would be good enough. But no, I feel like you need to, like, I don't know, like get a picture of him like at a KKK rally in order for him to, and even then he'll just still be all like, he was all like, I was just passing by, I don't know what was going on, and so I was curious, I stayed there, plus some of my friends are in this community and stuff. And it's like, yeah, you just your thought process on, oh, let me guess, that was the autism, dyslexia, and what either Luke or Just a Robot talking. Yeah, it's like, man, get out of here with that.
It comes for everyone. It's not a question of if it will happen to me, it's when. Will it happen in 2025, 2022, or maybe this year? We won't know for sure until it happens.
I'm not going to deny a small part of me is impressed you would use older content to drive home a current point, but it distracts, and that's the point, really, is that a lot of what you're doing kind of falls within the realm of smoke and mirrors, seeing what you want us to see, what you think, and how you think, to understand your perspective better. It doesn't change anything, really. Context is key, and I fully agree, but the outcome is always going to be the same. I'm not suggesting some kind of defeatism, if that even isn't ism, although there is a tism involved in this somewhere. I'm just saying that this seems a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, that video aged like a fine wine. I may not fully understand myself as a person, but I do understand that I say off-the-cuff stuff all the time, and that I'm autistic.
It's not that you say things that are off the cuff. It's that what you say doesn't fall in line with the current message. And there are many messages that resonate and don't because of the ebb and flow of commentary. Many of us have had to adapt by removing certain words, for example, from our language. You're not one of them, and that's totally fine. But you also have to accept that with that inability to adapt comes the consequence of falling behind and being treated as such. Although I guess you are at least Mystic Meg, and able to, predict the future, and if you're English, Mystic Meg would ring a bell or two.
Me getting cancelled was never a question of if it would happen, but when.
As somebody that's not a fan of the word cancelled, I want to correct slightly. You weren't cancelled. You were called out by everyone that said, no, this was bad. To be cancelled would indicate there's no way back. There is totally a path back for you. There really is. This video is not it.
I was never foolish enough to believe that I would be the only autistic.
I don't know. I know people probably ask me, is there a way for him to come back from all of this? I feel like it's still going to linger with him with all the different stuff that he's been called out for. Because I mean, even the stuff that Omegon ain't going to talk on, like there was like the Jade animation, and then there was just all the like other different crap, I guess, with him and things. But I don't know, like, a part of me would say possibly, but then at the same time, it's like, this is just a robot that where I think that he is purposely trying to get himself canceled. He's like, getting called out ain't good enough. Like, I need to get canceled. I need to have it where everybody is talking about me. I think what his intentions are is that he wants to have it where like Keemstar and like news outlets and like he's like, yeah, being talked about globally and stuff. So I think that's what his goal is. But I don't know. Like, if anybody else, I would say, yeah, it's definitely a way for you to get out of this and stuff, and then come out clean on the other side. But with just a robot, no. The thing is that if he wanted to change, he would have changed a long time ago. He still lives for the drama and the negativity and all that. So me personally, I would say that, yeah, it might be on some stuff where it's like he got called out, but he's trying to get canceled. So, but if not that, then yeah, he did because I don't know. I don't see him having the same career that he once had before. It's like, so I guess he got called out in a dying state. But if not that, then yeah, I think it's like a slow cancellation. But anyways,
on the internet to never get canceled. If my roommate came home on time, he definitely would have told me, hey, this draft sucks and you need to change a lot of things.
It's not up to your roommate.
If you weren't so impulsive to race ahead of somebody else, you wouldn't have released it in the first place.
Yeah.
Earlier in the previous video anyway, you mentioned...
And even I was thinking that too, where like when the video had got leaked out by the Kumo guy, I was like, okay, you could have just very well came out and said, hey, that's not the final draft of that video. I'm still working on it and stuff. That was just kind of like a not really a practice, but there was just a video that I conjured up and things, but I am still working on it. There's still some things I want to add, take out, whatever the case may be. That you could have had time to do that. But it's like you're blaming your roommate talking about, if he had came home on time. It's not for your roommate to come home. My thing is this. If I was in a situation like that, somebody got some stuff going on the internet and they were like, oh, well, if they had came home on time, it's like that just to me doesn't even make any sense. You apologize for not listening to them, but at the same time, you blame them because they didn't come home on time to help you out with this video. Isn't the Just a Robot channel, isn't that your channel? I didn't realize it was Just a Robot and Friends. Like, if that's the case, then that's what the video or what your channel needs to be titled so you could give proper credits to your friends. And so, yeah, then it could be a thing where they could get called out. But still, even then, there's still that Just a Robot name. So it's like, it's one of those things where you're still, regardless of whether your roommate came home on time or not, you still got to, make sure of it that it's like, okay, these videos come out and they come out good. Not let's just release whatever because I panicked and stuff. Then my roommate didn't come home on time. It's not for your roommate to come. Your roommate can come home whenever he feels like coming home. That man want to come home 20-something years later. That's on him. I'm like, but it's one of those things where it's like you shouldn't be like, oh, well, because I'm like, I'm getting called out, so my roommate got to get called out. Oh, then my girlfriend and my neighbor and everybody else around me got to get called out because they didn't help me out properly with the video. It's not for them to help you out. That's your channel. That's like if I uploaded a video and let's say it's a gaming video, I fail a mission, and then it's like, oh, well, I blame you guys for not helping me out with the game. And it's like, but didn't you go out your way to buy this game, play it, and all this other? Like, nobody tell you to play this game. Like, you did that on your own well-being. So, yeah, I just think that that's dumb for him to say that. It's like, it's not up for your roommate to help you. It's you. It's your channel. So
you only acted and released because,
like, I guess, like, if it was his roommate's YouTube channel and then you had to upload the video, then I feel like that would be a valid thing to say, where it's like, well, it wasn't even up to me. Like, he should have came home and all this other stuff, and then we could have did this video properly. But it's your channel, so it's like, bruh, people are still gonna look at you and be like, no, you're the suspect. You're trying to have it where, let's say if this was like in a courtroom, you're being called out for a crazy crime. You're trying to look over it like, oh, well, if he would have been a better getaway driver, we wouldn't have got caught. But you still went out and committed the crime. Like, yeah, if he wants to get called out on some stuff, I guess that's left up to the audience. But if not, then it's like, fam, I guess, like, and that's the thing too, where it's like, if he was it's like he's an Uber driver. Like, how is he supposed to know that some stuff's about to go down and things? Like, I guess, because I'm looking at it like in a situation like that where your roommate, it's like he has no knowledge of what you're getting ready to do. So it's like, how you going to blame somebody with no knowledge of what you're getting ready to do? And if he did agree on it and stuff, it's like, okay, either way, still, you're going to go down for the more serious crime. Like, he'll admit and be like, oh, yeah, I was the getaway driver. I was this, that, and all this other stuff. But it's like, okay, yeah, it's like you're going to be an accomplice to to murder. But it's like, yeah, you'll get some time for that and things, but you're going down, yeah, you Just a Robot, you are going down for first-degree murder. So, yeah, with your own career and stuff, you murdered your own career. But anyways.
Else releasing something, yeah, you're, it's called making excuses, right? Okay.
This is why I didn't ask my roommate to help me debate anyone. He loves debating and he's really good at it, but he only had superficial context as to what was going on, so it wouldn't have been right for me to ask him for help. Me asking him to jump into a random stream and help me debate a topic he didn't know that much about would have more than likely made things worse for me.
No offense intended, but we can never be too certain these days as to the outcome because, while it's always nice to hypothesize what could have been, the reality is what has happened. You should never live with hindsight because it doesn't help you. It is a useless mechanism in the context of seeking to be better. Unless you intend to attempt again, it's no good to you in this instance. And before someone pedantically points out that hindsight is useful in this context. Thank you.
On top of that, with a little bit of the situation I did explain to him, he told me it was a bad idea to get involved.
Yes, I absolutely regret not listening to him, and I'm so sorry for it.
Some people said I should have flagged or copyright strike down Kumo's video, but
it's like he's such a manipulator. It's like it's your fault that I couldn't get this video out properly, but I apologize so much. Like, no, you're my best friend, and I'm sorry that I put you in this situation. But at the same time, like you're a bad friend because you didn't help me out with these videos. But I deeply apologize. Like, okay, what is it? Like, is he good? Is he a good friend or is he a bad friend? Because either way, it's like the thing is this: there only needs to be one conversation that comes out about your roommate. Whether it's like, yeah, he's bad because he didn't help you out, or hey, I apologize, but you need to just leave it at that. But it's like you're trying to apologize, but also at the same time blame him for some stuff that he ain't got no control over. Again, this is your YouTube channel. It's not his. If that's the case, he needs to be the one uploading videos. He needs the one doing voiceovers and all this other stuff. But if not that, then it's like, fam, that's your YouTube channel.
Honest here, once a video is out there, it's kind of out there. And I've seen what happens to other YouTubers when they try to strike down a video. Long story short, it doesn't end well for them.
I feel like there could be a rather lengthy discussion in the hindsight realm that occupies this space. The part that matters is that somebody uploaded your video, which does fall within the fair use, the stealing of content territory, if you'd already uploaded it to YouTube before then. If it was already on YouTube before that version, yeah, no, you could have struck that down. And you would have a valid reason to do so under YouTube's terms of service. Regardless of outcome, and regardless of the internet being forever, somebody stole your content.
Kumo uploading my video ruined a lot of things for me. It kept me from reaching out to Jack and doing further research on the topic. Even if I didn't upload my unfinished draft, I still would have received a ton of backlash. Just not as much backlash as I'm receiving now. Because of my lack of research on the situation, I did not understand how bad Cinny really was, until I had a call with Himpleton. Yes, I understand he's getting cancelled right now, which made my drama blow up even more, but he still explained the situation to me and helped me understand where I went wrong.
This is where you have a few problems. One is that you work a full-time job, so should you be investing your time and effort and resources when you have it into content like this where ill-informed takes?
Like, I had a full-time. So no, actually, that I would have to say that would probably be the best example that I can use is when Logan Paul, when he got called out for his forest video. I was working a full-time job. And I remember when that whole situation, when it went down, it was like, wow, like he did something pretty bad here. And I was like, fam, look, here's the thing. I don't agree with that video at all. But you got people out there where it's like, I guess their thought process with content is going to be different than everybody else. He wasn't thinking. He definitely wasn't thinking, And, but no, yeah, it's like, I wasn't being like, hey guys, what he did wasn't all that bad. I mean, like, it's, there ain't no defense for that. It's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I had a full-time job at one point in time, talked on numerous things that was going on within, content creation. And, it's one of those things where I'm like, I've never have had to have been called out, or I guess, like people have gotten on me about stuff that I had an opinion on. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things. At least for me, I just, if it's a sensitive subject, I don't talk on it, but if it's like, I don't know, like if it's like some funny stuff, like if it's like a movie, like, yeah, Titanic, where I'm all like, hey, Jack and Rose, she had more than enough space on that wooden plank thing for them to both be balanced out. Those are going to be the things that I'm debating. Stuff where it's like I'm being called out, but it's on something like funny and things, but yeah, I'm not going to talk on sensitive subjects, but I want everybody to have only my personal opinion to look at, know, and look at it as an actual factual, like, no, you can't, it doesn't work like that. People are going to feel differently on whatever it is that you're talking about. You can't change that. But anyways.
Come from being impulsive or acting recklessly. You claim Kumo being the reason why you acted. You cite your roommate for not being home on time. Notice a pattern here? To be honest, you shouldn't cover subjects like this at all if you're not able to commit to making those videos. I fully understand you have a job and a life. I also understand you have tunnel vision. You're dyslexic, you're autistic. I get it. I 100% do. But these subjects are remarkably complex if you want to make them.
It's like, I think I don't know. I probably ain't got, because I did say going into 2026, I'm done with doing just the robot content and stuff. But I think if this would have been like early on in the year, if this video would have got uploaded, I definitely would have. I probably might end up doing that, just finding content creators that they have dyslexia and autism, and see how many times they've been called out and canceled for some stuff. Because I guarantee, and I promise you, there's a lot of people out there where they talk on dyslexia, they are dealing with it and stuff, or they have some form of autism, and and they're dealing with it, but it's like they're not uploading content that's going to purposely get them canceled. So yeah, that's why I'm like, it's one of the, like, what form of autism do you suffer from? Because there's like multiple like variants and like different forms of autism and things. So it's like and it's one of those things. I'm like, okay, whatever that is, let's look it up, because I imagine there's it has to be something. But we look up whatever form of autism it is, we see other people and see if they've been called out and canceled on some stuff. Because if not, then it's like, or let you know what. No. Let's see if we can find a creator that suffers from both the autism, the form of autism that just the robot suffers from, and then dyslexia. See if we can find another content creator that, they work in a 9 to 5 and all this other stuff, and see if they've been called out and canceled on whatever and stuff. But if not, then it's like, yeah, bro, no excuses. It's like you did that on your own wrongdoings. But anyways.
Complex, but they're remarkably simplistic if you don't get bogged down with the unnecessary grey area others create to try and present a differing narrative.
Apparently, Cindy told Enno that it wasn't a big deal that she had a fetish at 11, and she also got Enno, who was 14 at the time, to read out the comic. And that makes the whole situation way more disturbing than I originally was led to believe.
Which further cements my belief that you did not prepare, practice, nor perform. You went into it with your blind spots on, and you went based on opinions of others rather than your own, which your own should be cemented in your own time and effort put into this subject. Others had highlighted this in their videos, live streams. I saw Chud Logic address it quite clearly, and you live streamed with Chud, so I'm somewhat impressed at the level of lacking that has been found within your work this time. Well, back then anyway. I was surprised, because others had defended you vehemently for years.
When I was 14, I did an unpaid internship
That's
at
true.
a ranger station.
I'm going to mute this part, because Jar goes on to explain somebody sharing magazines they found while working together. I don't care for it. I understand the need to justify and explain, over-explain. I don't want to play it in this video.
When Himpleton explained this to me, that was the moment everything hit me. Oh my god, I can't believe what I have done, and I'm so sorry for it. I should have done better research. Now granted, I am not happy with Himpleton leaking our call without asking me for permission first, and I'm also not happy with him saying he was pulling an op on me. However, he still did help me out a lot, so I have to thank him for that.
Well, I guess I was wrong about the defeatist thing. Small point to add, of course, Jar is actually in the right when it comes to leaking private conversations. Much like DMs, we saw that with Elon Musk doing it to Asmongold recently. I do not support that. I can't. It's why I never used it in any of my content. Certainly against Jar anyway.
Just to give you an example of the extra research I could have done on Cine, this doc was released on the same day Kumo uploaded my video onto his channel. Unlike the other two docs, it's short and straight to the point. If I saw this, I would have held off on uploading my video to do extra research. But because of what Kumo did, I panicked and uploaded what I had.
I'll start by saying no offense intended, again, but what you could have done better does not change what you did. You are a commentary creator. Your role, your hobby, is to make commentary content. You branched out into a realm I didn't think you were going to be going back into, drama. But it turns out, you did. You bucked the trend because you thought it was like pyrocynical, and that Cindy would have some rising from the ashes like a phoenix moment situation type deal. I don't know where that came from, because it can't have been more obvious in the original Google Doc.
When I uploaded the Cine video to my channel, all I could think about was how unprepared I was for this situation. I came across as very arrogant in that video due to past success of going against the mainstream commentary community opinion and coming out on top.
Yeah, I've never understood that mentality. There are a number of creators who've acted like that in the past. Arrogance born out of that pride. I take pride in always being right. I will admit I say that from time to time, but I know I'm not. I just say it. But in this instance, you have to treat each instance as if it's a one-off. Just because you've got some pedigree, as it were, didn't mean that you should immediately buck the trend. Turns out when it involves children, there's no trend to buck. I don't know how that's complicated to you, but apparently it is.
Granted, often when I upload a video on YouTube, I get anxiety. I think to myself, oh no, this is the video that's going to get me cancelled. Hopefully it will go over well. That's why I try to hype myself up, because often when you come across as confident in a video, it makes people more willing to hear you out.
Well, this would certainly go so far as to explain why I don't hype myself up, and I'm not seen by the masses that often, which I'm okay with.
Granted, it's a double-edged sword because it can make you come across as an arrogant douchebag as well. As for the way I interviewed Cinny, I have no excuses for myself.
It's funny how like he says that he's trying to make it seem like that he's, you know, like I don't know, like he's trying to make it seem like that he's in the opposite direction of somebody that he wants to, I guess, like he wants to be viewed as a high figure. But when you look at his bio thing on Twitter, and maybe he's just trolling when he says that, but he's like he wants to be referred to as Your Majesty or Your Highness or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you're not that. Like it's one of those things. If we go back to them times where it's like we got knights on horses and whatnot, you know, that era, the mid, what was it considered the medieval era? Either way, regardless, you're that guy that's in the jail, I guess, you know, waiting to get your head chopped off. I'm like, that's who you are. But you definitely wouldn't have been a king. It'd been one of those things where it's like you're like hitting off somewhere out in the woods in the middle of nowhere where it's like, yeah, you might have like a small little village going on, but yeah, you're a cult leader. It's like you're not like a king that's reasonable or Your Majesty or any of that stuff, Your Highness. No, you're one of them cult leaders where it's like, yeah, they gonna drink some red Kool-Aid or something and all be wearing purple suits and Nike shoes all laid out dead on some beds and stuff. That's the type of person that you are. I feel like that if Just a Robot would have had reached the potential that he wanted to reach, it definitely would have been dangerous for a lot of different people on the internet and stuff. Like if he, like wherever his goal was when it came to content creating, if he would have succeeded with that goal, it definitely would have been a situation where a lot of people would have, they would have had to abandon content creating. They were like, no, content creation is it's not a safe place anymore. But anyways.
Completely unprofessional with how I handled that interview. The interview was very cringe and my questions were leading. I was thinking about redoing it, but I thought that would be dishonest.
It wasn't misleading and honest, it's just there are a lot of words for what could have been, well, changed for simple glock glock noises. That would have made the interview a lot shorter, and one of you may well have gotten a happy ending out of it. But if you remove the glock glock sounds and use the words alone, you didn't have a very good showing, because a lot of it was based on you taking the side of Cinny and only the side of Cinny. When opportunity presented itself for you to present a counterpoint, you were nonchalant about it. You were dismissive. You were not as fully invested because you were ill-prepared. If you're going to interview somebody, you need to make sure you know everything. And she didn't give you much either. And you seemed okay with that, which was really weird. You did not handle the situation well, and yeah, it became a part of an undoing. A reputation like yours can only go up if you actually bother to put effort into what you do. The Cinny Bear video was not it.
Also, I leaked out the full version of the interview, not Cinny. Lyle Convoy asked me for it, and I sent it to him after thinking things over for a few days. I could have said I didn't have it anymore, but I wanted to be honest. At the end of the day, I shouldn't have even entertained the idea of making that video in defense of Cinny. It was reckless, it was stupid, and I deserve to be dunked on for it.
While I'm glad you are willing to make these concessions and admissions now, the fact it's taken this long to reflect and come to that conclusion speaks volumes about your character. When we make a mistake, we have to own it straight away, but you didn't. You tried to defend it, and then when you were kind of bending over for Chud, which you were, no offense intended, I've said that a few times already, you bent over and spread them very quickly, because you're not, like many people, very good at confrontation. I'm not either, so I try to avoid getting into too much controversy. Because of that, many more people started to...
Yeah, it's just, his thing was that if he had the people, I guess, to, like, be with him when he was confronting somebody, because, like, the thing is this, even the first time when he made a video on me, that it wasn't like it was him reaching out to, you know, I guess, wanting to get my point of view or whatever. Like he wasn't being reasonable when it came down to making a video. So I guess for too many people that don't know that. So yeah, he never reached out to me to, you know, I guess get my opinion on when he made his first video, because the first video he did make on me was of it was a commentary video of me defending people that do reaction videos, because at the time being, a lot of people were getting hated on for doing reaction videos. he just uploaded the video. So I wasn't really surprised, but it was more so like, all right, so because I was kind of having some people make videos on me and stuff at the time being, so it wasn't really surprising seeing a video about me. But yeah, at the same time, I'm like, all right, it's whatever. I mean, it's what I don't know what could possibly come out of this video with somebody. I guess because I'm like, I've heard the conversation already before how people don't like reaction videos. So I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do with that information, but I'm gonna tell you right now that I do not care about that information, whatever it is that you're trying to provide and stuff. But no, overall though, it was like he had to have his fans reach out to me and be like, oh, just a robot uploaded a video on you. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, and like that's like good for you, pal. Like I don't care and stuff. And so yeah, I think it was me just having a don't care attitude. But then also on top of that, it's I guess like he noticed that I had a don't care attitude, so that's why he wanted to just go after me because I was an easy target. It's like I wasn't going to really have that much of a response, and then come towards the end of that same year, 2016, that's when he uploaded, because it was like I wasn't really providing nothing or saying anything in my videos besides saying like, hey, if you guys don't like my content, then don't watch it. But I'm not going to change my content because you don't like it. Then towards the end of the year, I think that's when he came up with the whole master plan of cancel TMossBoss. And then it was like, then anytime when I upload a video, because he staged this like argument with me, made a video about it, that's the thing that trips me out. So he stages this argument in my comment sections. He leaves out half the conversation that we had before. So he left out the insults and all that other stuff because he probably knew that, at some point in time, people are going to really watch these videos, and I want to be the one that controls the narrative. So he left out all the parts of the video where he was insulting me and all this other stuff, left in the part where he made it seem like, I just came to his channel to pass on some advice and all this other stuff. But I'm like, no, that's the thing that he doesn't talk on, was that he was making a video about somebody that I was already getting into it with. So there was a YouTuber named Minnesota Boy where he was working on the video about. I think he did upload that video, but I think what he wanted was for me and him to do that video together. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that video with you. I'll quit content creating before I'll do that video with you. Pissed them off. Then like when a person, when they're yelling but they're typing, they type in all caps. So from that point forward, he's just typing in all caps in my comment sections, and I'm like, man, get out of here with that. I'm like, ain't nobody hearing you and stuff. So I made a video pretty much making fun of him, and then after that, he played the whole victim card, and then that's what led into our 4-year-long drama and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. I just think that the way that he likes to have his fans, back him up on stuff, because that was the whole reason why he even did the videos in the first place, is because he knew his fans would back him up. But as far as having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, he's not about that, And even with the one girl that he was harassing at VidCon, where it was like he wanted to have the one-on-one conversation with her. How did that go? I believe that video is still up, where it was like Calamara or something like that. But yeah, it was he invited his roommate into the call, and it's like, ain't this supposed to, your roommate wasn't at VidCon. If he was, then it's like he didn't stand out. Nobody doesn't know who he is. But you were the one that were harassing people. So what does your roommate have to do with this conversation? So yeah, that's why it's like, yeah, he's not good at having one-on-one conversations. And so then he knows that the person that is an easy target, and he's like, oh, I can dominate the conversation. I'm like, yeah, there's a difference between actually winning debates and arguments and stuff like that, and then actually, just overall dominating the conversation where the person can't even have a say-so and stuff. But anyways,
into who you are as a person, which led to what can be considered a form of character assassination, but one that had basis of fact because of past behavior. The God complex part really didn't help, I will admit.
The only part of the video that aged well is what I said about Jack. From the very beginning, I knew there was something that wasn't adding up about this drama, and it was Jack. They're getting bashed for stuff hard right now, but I know for a fact they're not going to leave the internet. They're way too addicted to it. My entire Cine video wasn't terrible, but enough takes were so bad that I shouldn't have uploaded it.
I don't really care about the Jack stuff. No lie, I have so little interest in it. But I'm not surprised in the middle of admissions of guilt, you are compelled to dunk on someone else. Because I told you so, right? You're still operating with hindsight, which is totally fine when admitting fault, but then using it to reference other things, to bring it into a different argument to perhaps lend greater context so people won't hit you as hard, makes it seem like you thought this out a bit too much, which would explain why this is a 40+ minute video, and why we're only going to focus on the Cine part before getting to other bits.
You might think that this video is over now. After all, my Cine video is the main problem people have, right? Well, surprisingly, no. In fact, I would actually go as far as to say that it's only 1/10 of the reason as to why I'm getting cancelled right now. Because Cine thought it would be a good idea to leak our DMs, even though I was sticking my neck out to help her.
So this is the part where we get to what have been dubbed the simping allegations. Just a Robot in the video titles it How I Talk to People. As far as I'm concerned, how you talk to people have a number of different faces. Generally speaking, I speak to everyone exactly the same way. I think there's only 2 exceptions. One is my oldest friend in the world, and our messages, well, are brief, because I'm not a talky person, okay? I don't send long messages. But generally, I speak to everyone with a modicum of respect and patience.
Yep.
That's how I've always operated. I know for a fact that does not apply to you, because who you have been, and I've seen messages in the past, who you have been and who you want us to believe you are 2 totally separate people. I do not support anyone leaking DMs of anybody at all, but I'm acutely aware of seeing those messages and thinking, oh look, another face, another mask. I wonder when this one will slip.
Now, I've been called a simp for defending someone before. I've been called a simp for Peaches, Antunes, Mari, and many others. But because the DMs between me and Cine were leaked, the simping allegations actually have some evidence for once. However, the allegations of me simping for Cine are false. I can understand why someone would believe I was simping, especially if they didn't know me as a person. I'm gonna be real here. Me saying wanna see my cock, followed up by a picture of a chicken, or me commenting nice pussy when someone shows me their cat, are common jokes I've made multiple times with multiple different people.
In the context of what you present, I do not believe that any of that makes you a simp. I think what makes
Yeah, maybe if you've been friends with this individual for like years or something, and that's just like, because I guess like with me, I don't know, I feel like that might be a hypocritical thing to say, but I guess like the only reason I have to say this one time where it worked out, I don't just do that with anybody. I'm like, no, so I remember it was back when I was in high school. I told this story before in case if you already heard this story, then yeah, it's like you already heard it. But for those that are new to my channel, no, there's a friend of mine's that I ended up being cool with in high school. The very first conversation that we ever had, and I still remember, so it wasn't even with him. Like I was talking with somebody else. He walks up and he calls us, and he's black himself. Let me just say that he is black. But he came up and he called us. I can't remember what he said, but he said something racist. So I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. Like we the same. I might be a little bit on the ashy side, but I'm like we the same race. I'm like, so. But after that, I was like, because no, the funny thing is that like that's how me and my family, how we talk with each other. We won't call each other like the hard R and stuff like that, but we kind of call each other. We might call each other. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say because I ain't trying to get demonetized and all that other stuff. But I don't know. Like it's just not like the extreme like racist names and stuff, but I guess like one day I could say that I know people will probably be surprised by that, but my mom calls me Kunta Kinte, and I'm like, and that's one of those things where I'm like, I don't even look like him, but and that's one of those things where I'll say I'm trying to think of something. I'll say that she was a stunt double for Planet of the Apes, and so yeah, it's one of those, but that's just how we talk. I know people are gonna probably be all like, that's a messed up thing to say. I'm like, fam, I literally got that sense of humor from my mom, so I'm like, or not even just from her, but literally from my whole family. But that's the thing though. The point that I'm trying to make is that I don't have that like it's so like let's say for an example I meet somebody through content creating that's black. I'm not gonna be all like, oh hey what's up, I'm trying to think of a like racist name or something. I'm like, yeah, 12 years a slave. I'm like, how's your day going? Yeah, I don't do that. I'm like my thing is this. Just like how Omegon said, I'm like, I'm respectful. So I'm like, hey, how's your day going? Okay, cool. If it's one of those things where if we're talking about it and then they're all like, oh, I do the same thing with my family, then we don't have like a verbal agreement, but it's just, yeah, one day we just kind of like pop out and say just to kind of test. If it's something that's like, if they are cool with it and I'm cool with it, then yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, then that's just how the friendship is. But that usually takes some time. But even with that, with the friend from high school, that kind of took me some time because I'm like, I don't know him, but he cool. He one of those people where I'm like, no, yeah. And then anytime we seen each other, we always would say something crazy. So yeah, because I think even the one time because he never had heard that before. Because I knew a little bit more about racism and names and stuff than the next person. Because I studied that stuff when I was a kid. And so, yeah, I was in elementary reading books about racism and all that. No, so, but anyways, no, I think I remember I went into the classroom seeing him. He said something to me and I called him a porch monkey. And then he just started cracking up laughing because he's never heard that before. So, yeah, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not going to say that to anybody. So, yeah, and that's with just a robot. He's like, oh, I'm going to say that with anybody. They just got to accept it. And it's like, no, they don't. There's going to be people that's uncomfortable with that joke. And there's probably a lot of people that haven't came out and told him that they're uncomfortable with that joke, but he ain't gonna care because he's all like, oh, well, it's my sense of humor and I'm not gonna change. So
you look like more of a simp is that interview you did. The DMs just look like the average DM. It's like, show me your tits and someone sends you a picture of blue tits. As far as the channel goes, no offense to you, Jar, but your channel is more dead than mine. Congratulations. For those who are not fully appraised of what has happened or led to Jar being at this point, I'm going to link some videos concerning Cinebear down below. I should also add, long ago I have done a video on his channel because I think he was doing something else. It was a guest video, right? Now, this response video is not in character, for Jar that is. It is just about mostly liked, but the interactions are limited. There are a lot of comments though. I wish for 9k views, I'd get 600 comments. His case, they're not on his side as much, but let's go through a couple of those first. You shouldn't have involved yourself with Cine in the first place. The situation is almost a year old now and you need to let it go and honestly just get off the internet. It's clear you don't know how to handle it and you get in hot water every time you try to involve yourself with someone else's drama. It's a cycle at this point, and I'm actually surprised it took you this long to realize that. When specifically talking about the whole 16-year-old girl at the pool thing, Jar, I, an autistic male, while also spacing out and staring off into the distance, would firstly never think about anything NSFW while at a pool. That's weird. Kronos, I'm going to get one last comment. Oh my god, dude, just put fries in the bag. Oh wait, you can't. You can't even get a regular job without being a freak in front of female co-workers.
Yep.
My bad. That feels like foreshadowing. All of it does. So let's dive in.
Hello everyone, it's me Luke. No, not Jar, Luke. There's gonna be no voice filter, no gameplay, no fancy editing. No
and that's the thing too, where it's like I don't know, like probably a guy ain't gonna, because I feel like that he has to only have these conversations with women where he's all like, hey, you want to see then he'll say something inappropriate and stuff. And then sends them a picture of because it's like, why? I mean, I don't know. Like it's one of those things where it's just me personally, I feel like that he just be mainly having that conversation with women because you don't ever hear of a man coming out and saying like, oh yeah, just a robot. Maybe there might be some men out there that say, yeah, just a robot has said that with them, but I just feel like that the conversation, it's always gonna be different. It's like you're not gonna say anything offensive to male co-workers or even friends of yours on the internet, but female co-workers and women on the internet, they've always have had something to say about you. So you got to recognize the pattern with that. I'm like, yeah, it's like you don't say nothing crazy with a man, but with a woman, oh yeah, you definitely gonna say something crazy. And it says, oh, that's just my sense of humor. And it's you know what? The funny thing is, there was this video I remember that he uploaded before the Cinebear video where it's just, and that's just his philosophy on stuff, where he will upload a video. And I called him out on that video. It was this video that he uploaded where he was talking about how EDP could have gotten away with his situation, talking about, oh, if he would have showed up to the area, oh, he could have just been like, oh, I knew you guys were like To Catch a Predator type people. That's why I said what I said and I did what I did and stuff. And I'm like, why would you upload that as a video? Like, because my thing, EDP might not see it, but there's going to be other pedophiles that's going to see that. And they're like, oh, yeah, if it's that easy, then yeah, that's all but no, it's like you see how like he conversates and how he talks. And it's like, bro, it's just the way I don't know, man. Like maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but I'm like, yeah, the way that he just says things and how he tries to get his point across. It's like, yeah, you gonna stay being an offensive person. But anyways, back to the video.
Like that. Just me trying to explain myself to the best of my abilities. My last response was far from good, to say the least. If it wasn't, then so many people wouldn't be clowning on it.
I understand this obsessive need to constantly have to air one's issues to make sure that we have dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, and made sure our conscience is clear. And if people don't understand, then we have to do it again and again. At a point, considering how old the Cinebear stuff is, you do have to let it go. If you intend to rebuild your reputation, this is not how you go about it. And we as creators, we don't get many opportunities to right the wrongs or to try again. We really don't. So is this video beneficial to that?
I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm taking things seriously for the very first time in my life. I'm dealing with serious allegations, and serious allegations should be taken seriously. Not like my last response where I was joking around far too much. I'm primarily going to focus on the stuff around Cinny. There's so many allegations against me that if I go over them all at the same time, this video will just end up being a giant mess. I want to get this out of the way now. The version of the Cinny video I uploaded was bad.
Since your video is over 30 minutes long, I can save you 32, maybe 33 minutes worth of content by stating, you don't need to say any more then, do you? You were told it was bad by people you spoke to, you were told by people you were in a relationship with, you were told by fellow creators, and you were told by someone like myself that has been on this, well, platform longer than you have. You didn't listen to anyone. You didn't react fast enough. You should have removed it instantly and issued an apology. Look where Cinebear is now, by the way. Look at the grand scheme, the big picture. You were definitively on the wrong side of history.
I would go as far as to say that it was the worst video I ever uploaded. However, I do not believe I would have uploaded this draft of the video if Kumo didn't leak it out first. I want to make this clear. He did not link people my video or just play a few clips from it. He uploaded it in its entirety from start to finish onto his channel. And yes, he did this all before I released the video myself.
I'm going to be abundantly clear on some things here, because if you've stolen someone else's video and made it public before they have, you are a crappy human being. 100%. You do not have the right to do that. Whether it's right, wrong, whether it's to serve a greater good is irrelevant. Integrity must be maintained.
This was not a re-upload, this was a pre-upload. I do have some proof that I was working on another draft of the video, such as the fact it was uploaded unlisted days before it went live. I did this so I would have plenty of time to think things over on whether I should upload the video or not. I was also sending people the video so they could look it over and give me their thoughts on it. Now I know that some of you are going to call me a liar, because the second draft of my Cinny video was already fully edited.
There is something slightly concerning about having multiple edits of the same video, different versions for different multiverses, realities. I can understand wanting to portray a more cautious approach, but you lent with one. Irrespective of how that happened, it's still the one people remember. Now you go on to play a clip from an alternative version. I want to skip to that part, just to hear what you have to say.
The funniest part about all of this is you didn't do what you did with that 14-year-old because you wanted to get with them. You just couldn't stop cooming. You coomed until you groomed. I never even heard of a situation like this happening until now.
It should be noted that I was not happy with that draft of the video as well. I was on Jack's, aka Birdie's side way too much in it. Yes, I made this first draft on Cinny before I reached out to her. I was talking about grooming allegations, so I wanted to gain as much info as I possibly could.
Again, we can all understand wanting to be an intrepid journalist. However, we all listened to that interview as it was, and you sucked Cinny off like there was no tomorrow. I actually agree with what you said in that edit. That clip you played, cooming until you're grooming, catchy and accurate. Highly inappropriate catchy, but a catchy nonetheless. But you, in the interview, barely called out anything. You barely addressed anything. You let Cinny
It's like, I've only seen like parts of the video where people have shown them in like commentary videos. I've never sat down and fully watched the video. Maybe one day I might check it out. But other than that, I feel like for the most part, I seen what I needed to see and stuff. To me, it's like watching that video be kind of like re-reacting, because I feel like I ain't seen every single part that I need to see. But I mean, the video is like an hour. I feel like for the most part, I've only have seen the same clips that always get shown and stuff. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, it's what the thing is this, watching that video, I kind of already know what to expect. Even if it was on some stuff where, like, let's say this information was fresh to me, like, and I didn't know nothing about or at least like that video from Just a Robot, just based off of the other videos I've seen of his, like the ones that he's done on me. Let's say if I seen those videos first and then that Cinebear video was led, yeah, I like, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I kind of already know what to expect and stuff. So yeah, so I'm like, watching that video, it wouldn't surprise me, and that's why I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things I'm like, yeah, he just his philosophy on stuff, I'm like, nah, it's like he thinks that whole video, he thought that he was right. He thought he was right for what he was saying, even with people in his ear telling them that he's not. He's like, nope, I'm right, that's it. He's like, I'm plugging up the ears, I ain't ain't listening to nobody.
Conversation and not be accountable in the slightest. So what information did you really glean from it?
I told Cindy I would be making another version of the video in favor of her before I reached out to Jack and Enno. But, yeah, I'm going to be changing my video a lot, and I'm also going to have to reach out to Jack because, you know, for all I know, you're...
Uh-oh! Have fun with that, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going to get the video ready because knowing Jack, they're probably going to panic and try to control the narrative, like...
Of course, and that's going to be hilarious, but...
Yeah, it was hilarious. Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
Yes, this was indeed very stupid on my part. I thought because I made a video bashing her before I reached out to her, that I should do the same but in reverse. My roommate, Professor Dreadlock, was also getting ready to go on a very long business trip, so I couldn't go over all of the long Cine documents with him. I have one of the worst cases of dyslexia in the world, so it's very hard for me to read. Professor Dreadlock, on the other hand, is an extremely fast reader.
You make it seem like it should have perhaps been a case of, okay, I cannot prepare, I cannot practice, and I cannot perform, so I shouldn't have. The thing is, you did. Something in you decided to do that. This video is arguably the most redundant video you've made in a while. You should stick to your strengths and stop inserting yourself into drama. Now, you've been inserting yourself into drama ever since I've known you. Back in the B-List Skype group. Do you remember that? Back in like 2015, 2016? Yeah. You were always inserting yourself into drama. It's always been your thing. But look at what has happened now.
No, that's true, because I'm like, the funny thing is, and I know people will probably be all like, so I guess like the prequel, not prequel, but like what was the reason of me doing my video, and then what was the reason of Just a Robot, I guess, inserting himself into what I was saying and things. So during that time frame, it was a lot of different commentary channels that were going after reaction channels. And so I'd seen, like, you know, I was, yeah, because I had just got into doing reaction videos when all that stuff was happening. So I kind of was like in the middle of the war. I was more so trying to just, you know, find like a middle ground where it's like, okay, hey, like, people that do reaction videos, don't react to these guys. But the commentary channels, I'm like, don't watch their videos if it makes you that upset. Let's just go on with our lives and stuff, you know, because, yeah, people are still going to do reaction videos. If you got where there's people gaining millions of views and over 1 million subscribers off of reaction videos, they're not going to stop because you don't like the videos and stuff. So I pretty much had said something along those lines when I did the Defending Reactors video. And then Just a Robot, he wanted to have somebody kind of like how Tyrone Magnus had Grade A Under A and Jinx had Jack's Films. And then I'm trying to think who else, you know, yeah, like how they had those guys and stuff. And then how I think it was like there was quite a few people that was upset by I Hate Everything, the video that he did, I Hate Reaction Videos. Just a Robot wanted me to be on the opposite end. He wanted to have somebody to beef with, because it wasn't like my video was a standout video. It wasn't like it was a video that got millions of views. I think I still have that video uploaded till this day, and it's not a popular video on my channel. It ain't even one of my most viewed videos. I don't even think that video, if that video has over 1,000 views, it's probably because of like people talking about it. But yeah, just probably because of how long it's been uploaded and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, the video wasn't a standout video and stuff. It was like a few people in the reaction community that were smaller might have seen that video. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, bro, it wasn't a standout video. But Just a Robot, I don't think it was something like he just stumbled upon. Like, he was looking for some stuff where it was like, yeah, let me find a video to argue with and things. And it's like, fam, I didn't upload that video to seek out an argument. I uploaded that video just kind of like throwing a haymaker punch and just knock the whole situation out, you know? So, but yeah, he wanted to have an argument about it and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue with you about content that I like. And that's what I was saying when I had very first said, like, you know, started like kind of getting into it with him. I'm like, fam, if you don't like the content, then don't watch it, you know? But it's like, it ain't got nothing to do with you. Ain't nobody even reacting to you. It'd be one thing if people were reacting to you. There's not one single person that's reacted to a Just a Robot video. I'm like, there might be now, but before all this crap and even back, yeah, nobody ain't sitting around like, oh, let me react to this new Just a Robot video. That's the one thing I think he really wanted, and he never could get that. He never could get that same argument, or I guess like that same drama, because he's thinking like, oh, it's gonna benefit my channel so much, and it's like, it's not, bro. Don't nobody care about that. But anyways,
when you have finally been on the wrong side, everything beforehand was a flex at best. Now it's destroyed your channel.
A few people have pointed out that at the start of the Cine draft that I uploaded, I claimed that I went through the doc. That was a lie.
No offense intended, and while we're all in favor of you telling the truth, it was obvious you hadn't gone through it. You had at best skimmed it for what you were looking for, as opposed to taking it all in. Now you can attribute that to your dyslexia if you like, that's fine, but you still ran with it as a video regardless, because you desperately wanted to defend Cine. That motivation...
Yeah, and the thing is this. I guess like if I had dyslexia, it's one of those things where I would try my best to, to be a content creator. But if it like involves reading and things like that, yeah, I remember people saying that afterwards, and I didn't even know that there was stuff out there that was like that. But I think I would definitely look into something like that where there's like that, like not translate, but it's like you can like put like the file or documents, whatever, into a program, and it kind of just reads out what whatever it is that you need to be read to you and things. So it's like you could have very well did that. You didn't even need to have your roommate there, but yeah, just a robot. He just wants to be difficult. So
and understanding the reasoning for it is important.
It wouldn't have been a lie if that draft didn't get leaked, but I had that recorded because I was going to go through the doc with my roommate before I decided to upload that draft or not.
Forced hand into telling a lie? That's cute.
When I heard that there were a few people defending Cine, not saying that she was completely innocent, just that she wasn't as guilty as some were portraying her to be, I decided to reach out to Cine, along with those who were defending her, to get their side of the story as well. After all, I've seen multiple dramas where everybody's bashing one person, only for the entire situation to be reversed later. I didn't want to just side with the popular opinion.
You didn't have to side with anyone at all, though. You rushed to get that defense out. You weren't paying attention enough. It made it look like you were just being a contrarian, a hipster at best. And I've cut out the part where you yet again reference your dyslexia, a heavily dyslexic hipster.
Only to find out that I spread misinformation later on. But why spend so much time editing the video before I even look through the two documents? I have to plan ahead on these things. After all, adding in my avatar takes a lot more time and effort than just adding in gameplay or recording my face.
Okay, so this yet again leans further into the I rushed the feck out of this. As someone that uses an avatar with more expressions and blinking and stuff, I understand that. I really do. But it tells me you went in having already made your mind up, which you've admitted, basically. By not preparing, you have rushed to defend rather than consume what was needed. And you can be the slowest...
Yeah, his whole thing with Cinebear was that pretty much like it was the same deal that he offered me, that he wanted to help. And then at some point in time, I have to return the favor. And I think he wanted that same business with Cinebear, because it was like, oh, well, she's in a much vulnerable spot and stuff. So I could take advantage of her and all that. And I just think that's a scummy thing to do. It's like where this girl's already going through some crap. And it's like, oh, like me being an older individual, because what, isn't she like 20, 21 years old or something like that? And he's like 30. And it's just, I feel like he knows like, okay, she doesn't have like her mind wrapped around the content creating stuff, and I have a little bit more experience than she does. But let me go and pretty much take advantage of this girl, and then have it where she's helping me out with my content and stuff. And it's like, fam, yeah, to me that's a scummy thing to do. But hold on for 1 second, I gotta go do something real quick. Give me a moment. All right, I'm back. Just had to tend to some things real quick. But anyways, back to the video.
In the world, for whatever reason you want to attribute it to. If that is the case, then you should not have touched the subject with a barge pole. In your case, a robotic limb, perhaps?
I knew that this situation was still ongoing and that more information was coming out. I could take my time on this video and remake it over and over again, of course salvaging what I could along the way. Or I could just get cold feet and not upload any draft of the video. After I made the first draft, I was not happy with it, so I wanted to remake it after getting Cine and her friend's side of the story. Then I was going to remake it again after looking at the anti-Cine side in more detail, and after me and my roommate looked through the doc in more detail.
Already, as far as the timeline of events goes, the mistake was made right at the end. Nothing should have happened until you had your speed reader roommate, housemate, flatmate, bunkmate go through it with you. You can make all the research, the looking into things to help form opinions. The document is where everything started. Everything else is jumping the gun and unnecessary.
But you already knew all of this if you see my last response. Unfortunately for me, I had no proof of this. I didn't record any calls about this because I never expected my video to get leaked. Until today. I completely forgot what I said about my Cine video in my call with Vincent Skullman. Ratsu, a person who interviewed me, you might have seen it around, later became friends with me because she came to the conclusion that the drama around me was overblown.
I don't think it was overblown per se. I think people gave you multiple negative reactions to point out that you were not prepared for the subject matter you took a side in before you'd even looked at everything properly. Your own admissions now confirm it. So is it overblown? You can't say, I can't say. But it can be said, you were ill-informed, and yet you are still defending somebody without even consuming what did irrefutably prove that they were in the wrong. People can look down on incidents that destroy our careers.
Yeah, it's like and whoever them people were that was telling him that it was overblown. They're saying that because if they genuinely believe that, then they just as crazy as he is. If not that, then they just trying to, I guess, get on his good graces and think they gonna get some sort of shout out or something. Pretty much playing his own game on him. And, you know, like, oh, yeah, I'll say this, but you got mentioned it in a video and things, you know, he might not ever come out and, well, yeah, he probably just too dumb to realize that that's what's happening. But it's like, you have to understand that at this point, if anybody is having a conversation with you, just a robot, they're doing it because they're like, they want something out of it. You know, I guess like anybody else, they, yeah, that is just, it's one of those things you really got to like observe them and see like, this person is not normal. If they just go out their way to have a conversation with me, it's either something they crazy or yeah, they want something out of me. But yeah, other than that, it's like, fam, it's one of those things where one day he'll understand. He's a grown man, he'll figure it out. But anyways,
we like to try and placate our ego. Ultimately, the onus is on us to be better, and in that you failed.
I am happy with the friendship I developed with her. She has been extremely understanding and kind to me. She told me that Vincent Skullman sent Lyle Convoy our call, and apparently Lyle Convoy demanded that Vincent Skullman not upload it under any circumstances. Naratsu could be lying to me, but this did make me listen to the call, and I heard things that really piqued my interest. As you can see from the timestamps on screen, I had this call with Vincent only 15 hours I sent the last part of my Cine video to my editor, Lorenzo.
Wait, you have an editor? You know you could pay them to do the avatar side of things as well, right? Because you mentioned it earlier as if it was a massive inconvenience. Granted, I don't use editors because, well, you can tell I don't. I'd rather not, to be honest. But you do, or did. Again, interest piqued, much like your own.
And I want to make this clear so someone
it's
doesn't
like
claim...
he always would get on me for not editing my videos. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, if you sat down and watched my videos, then you would see that usually for the most part, so the thing is this. Either way, like, so like, if we're talking like a reaction video, for an example, so let's say I edit out the parts that I don't talk, then it would just be a video of me just talking and you guys won't see a reaction. But then if I edit out the parts where I'm talking, then it's just, you know, yeah, me sitting there just not saying anything. So that's why it's like, yeah, he's never been a do research type person, but it's funny because he would get on me about that, not editing my videos. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, if you watch my videos, then you would see my reaction to whatever it is that I'm reacting to. And then on top of that, I'm giving out my opinion on whatever it is that I'm reacting to. So yeah, it's like y'all are getting a 2-for-1. So it's just, I guess like with videos like this, it's just, you know, I'm more so just trying to like, capture the moment and just hear what's being discussed and talked about. But at the same time, I'm also, you know, giving out my reaction. That's why it's like we're almost 2 hours into this video and we're at the 51-minute mark. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, trust me, you're gonna get a reaction out of me when I do these types of videos. But he doesn't know that because he refuses to do any research that's gonna benefit his argument. But anything else that doesn't benefit, and that's why I think what happened with that Cinebear crap is that he only looked at the stuff that would have benefit whatever he was going to talk about. Other than that, anything else, he's like, no, that's just going to ruin the situation. And it's like, well, fam, it wasn't even, it shouldn't even been a situation in the first place to gain or ruin whatever it was that you were. But like he did say, he was trying to get her to be on his good side. Like, I guess, trying to build some Avengers team of canceled content creators. And I guess, I don't know, maybe she was going to be, you know, Black Widow or Captain Marvel. She was going to be somebody in the group. And I guess he wanted to be Iron Man. And I'm like, yeah, let's see how that movie turns out. It's definitely one of those things. I feel like it's, you know, it's one of those movies where it doesn't show up on Sci-Fi. It doesn't show up on Lifetime, like none of those like TV networks, like whatever is below that. Like that's what it would, like one of those channels that we don't know about, but they'll show movies where it's like, when did this movie come out and things like when was this a thing? So it's like, yeah, you'll see where it'd be an actor that used to be in big movies where they in that, and it's like, what is this? What is this movie? So
I did send Lorenzo a few more parts for the Cine video after this call, but they were very small changes. This was the last big part I sent to him.
I've been interviewing people, I've been looking into this deeper, and I'm not saying Cine is innocent, I want to make that clear. It's just more people in this situation are guilty than you might think. The problem is, I know this community. They're going to twist it into me defending a groomer, and I'm like, that's not what I'm doing in the video, and...
Clearly you didn't portray your message, convey your message, get your message across well enough for people to think anything but you defending Cinebear. Trying to limit the amount of guilt another creator is on the receiving end of is also not your job. Many of us that don't get the viewership you used to get don't because we refuse to insert ourselves into the mess, the quagmire that is this drama. We speak of it with a retrospective mindset to convey and cover all the point, perhaps simplified, which is what I do, because that way it is more palatable. You inserted yourself.
I don't want to talk about it too far anymore with you because, like, I don't want anything to get leaked because I've been working on this for literal weeks, but I have been gathering a lot of information and I have been going back and reworking on the video because I want to make it clear I'm not saying Cine is innocent.
As you can hear clear as crystal, I was emphasizing to Vincent Skullman that my video's purpose was not to convince people that Cine was innocent, just less guilty. You can also tell that I didn't want anything to get leaked out because I put so much work into this already.
Again, feeling the need to explain your claimed intentions and motivations, and the hard work you were putting into this video before it was even released. Utterly redundant because you hadn't read the messages. Many of us had. Many of us went through it on live stream.
It's like, yeah, I didn't even need to see the stuff that she, or at least see the files to know that I'm like, I did see like some like the, you know, I guess like the parts that get shown in the videos. But yeah, no, I'm like, okay, so my thing is this, without even reading the files, she came out and apologized for her actions. So I'm like, okay, what people are saying, there's some line of truth to it. She had to come out and do a whole apology video for it. So my thing is this, I'm like, I don't even need to read the files. If I wanted to do a Cinebear video, yeah, for the most part, I think I got all the information that I needed. And then, yeah, I'll be able to do this video without making it seem like that I'm defending her. So, yeah, it's like if you're hearing the clear message, you can even watch videos where it's like, and I think there were videos of people going over the files and stuff, and he still just bypassed all of that. And it's like, yeah, he didn't care about I guess what she did wrong. He wanted to do a video where it benefited her. I guess he's thinking along the lines, oh, it's gonna get her out of that canceled state, and then yeah, I overall can use her to you know, for my own gain and benefit and stuff. Because I guarantee and I promise you, if that was the outcome of that video, where like people had a different outlook on her and stuff, it benefited his channel, it benefited her channel. Oh yeah, we definitely would have seen like, oh, Just a Robot and Cinebear teams up on TMossBoss or whatever the video would have been titled. But yeah, he definitely was trying to build up, because I think it was some other creators too that he was trying to add to this list of creators he wanted to be on his side. But anyways,
there's videos on it. Many of us just went to Twitter because it was the easiest outlet. Not for me, I'm currently on a 7-day suspension. It doesn't matter how much work you put into something, that's just an attempt to limit responsibility. It doesn't matter if your intentions were to try and show that things weren't as bad as they were. Grooming is grooming. Simple as that.
The first situation I was ever in with this, that I got into with this whole community was the Princess Elizabeth 013 drama. When she was 14, people would send her like pictures of Rouge the Bat in her avatar. People above the age of 30 were doing that, and when I called that out, I got accused of being a pedo, because why else would I defend a 14-year-old? So it's just like, my, have the turns have tabled. The thing is, like, I looked at the comic, the thing is though, the dog maker didn't censor out anything.
have the turns have tape, yeah. Anyways,
actually Cine who sent it out, uncensored.
I ain't even going, no comment.
I was like, wow, that makes things way less bad. It's still pretty bad. It's still pretty bad, but it's not as bad. Like, if you send a minor uncensored, it's worse than sending them censored. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still overall, it's going to kind of lessen the blow.
Because of the recent community warning I got on my YouTube channel concerning Destiny, I have to pick what I say here very carefully. That's why I censored out certain words that rhyme with corn. I have to censor all of that because of YouTube. Thank you so much for that. I don't think there should ever be a discussion about whether it's worse or not worse when sending adult content to minors, ever. I understand the reasoning. I can understand it. Of course I can. It should never be a discussion, ever. And it does not limit culpability on Cine's part at all.
Thanks to reaching out to Cine and her friends, I could make the information clear that she censored out the doc herself. I did not disagree with Vincent when he said it's still overall yeah, because I agreed with that. Sending a minor of any kind is bad, censored or not, but censoring it is still less bad than sending uncensored
I really hope that's not the hill you choose to pass away on. Many of us.
It's like, why are you talking on that? It's one of those things where it's like you're telling us like we didn't know. Like, oh wow, let me go and write out this information. I'm like, censored is not as bad as uncensored. You shouldn't be sending it at all. Like, I don't know. Maybe he is trying to say that, but it's just how he words stuff. It's like you're talking to us as if we're just now discovering this information. It's like, fam, it's not the caveman days. We're not discovering fire. We know this. You're not telling us anything new. Like, it's things like that in that response video where you could have used that time to properly apologize to people rather than, oh, let me talk on some stuff that it's like people already know or people don't care about it. That's why I'm like, anytime when I had to sit down and just, the videos that he did on me, when I had to sit down and watch that stuff, it's like he's talking on things where I'm like, the only person that cares about this is you. Your fans don't care about it. I don't care for it. A random person, if they were to sit down and watch this video, they wouldn't care about it. Why are you talking about this? So like, it's just, maybe he does need people to be there for him when working on a video. Cause man, when you do a video, cause I think that response video, that was just on his own doing. Like he didn't have nobody help him out, and if so, whoever it is, fire them. I'm like, do not ever let them help you out with a video again. But anyways,
the online space never want to have that kind of argument anywhere near us, because we're never going to agree on it. Not because we think uncensored, but because we think it should never be anywhere near a child in the first place. Which is why many reactions are so volatile towards you, and why that argumentation is going to be flawed, because it treats the situation as binary to try and find a way to limit responsibility. It's argumentative, and it is, well, an unnecessary attempt at semantics.
Here's my opinion. Cindy was very inappropriate. She deserves to get backlash, but I do not think she's I don't think she's the next Cosmodor. I don't think she's because, like, I'm gonna be honest here, I think she would have done this with anyone. I think she's just an Omega Coomer.
Output settings. Okay, now there we go. You're coming into my headphones.
Yep. What's up?
Not my sub count, that's for sure. I think it's the same for you.
One of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. Although, at least I didn't go and get myself effectively cancelled. In the case of Bo Black's recording a Discord call without permission, and then releasing it. Was it lyrics? Yes. In your case, well...
I guess. Yeah, it's probably stagnant or like slowing, but it was slowing.
Yeah, I know people, they'll probably notice that too. Like, it's like, why is he always mentioning sub counts and views and all that stuff? I think it had a lot to do with me. I remember when me and him, because it wasn't really a conversation. If you go back and watch his videos, maybe he always did care about it and it just really got filled up with me. But I probably, if you go back and watch like his old videos, probably on the not the one where it's like the review channel, the new channel he created, but there's the one channel where I think it has like 80 or 90,000 subscribers or something like that. But he on that channel, so that was the channel that he started making videos on me and stuff. And I think he eventually like made like a remastered or whatever. He just put all the videos together on one big video and uploaded it to his main channel. But anyways, but no, if you go back and watch probably his old videos, he don't mention views, subscribers, any of that. But then when he started getting into it with me, that was one thing that I kept bringing up, because at one point in time, my channel was bigger than his. This was like when we were relatively small. Like, I think I had like maybe 7,000 subscribers. He had less than that. And then on top of that too, he was getting less views than me. And so, yeah, he had to rely on, I guess, people reacting to his content than whatever fans he had at the time to go over to people's channels and promote his content. And it's like, fam, that's just sad. That's one of those things where I wish I would have had the mindset now that I wish I had like back then. Because yeah, if something like that were to happen now, I would just delete the comments. I'm like, you're not gonna get no promo out of me and stuff. So it's like, I've realized what you're trying to do. Yeah, I'm like, and at that time, I'm like, I was all for it. I was all for the drama, getting into it, arguing with people and stuff. Even though it was like, I guess like it was more so like drama and argument that I seen like worth getting myself into. But with him, it was like, yeah, I just didn't really particularly care. I'm like, hey, this argument's kind of dead now. Like, let it go. Like, I wanted to, either stuff that was going to entertain me, but anyways, yeah, it's you notice that like that conversation with him when it came to like views and stuff, like it always has to be a part of a conversation. Like it's just he can't just let that stuff go. But it did start with me, I believe, and then yeah, since then it's just he always feels like he has to mention it when he gets into it with somebody like, oh, I have more views than you, I have more subscribers than you, and it's like, okay, but the points that you're making are wrong. It doesn't matter if you have more views and subscribers. I was just saying that at the time because it's like you're trying to get into it with me, and it's like, fam, you're not on my level just yet. And even after surpassing me in subscribers mentally, and that's why I more so meant like, yeah, subscribers, it was just kind of like, I guess, like random ammunition to throw out and stuff. But other than that, mentally, it's like, yeah, you're not on the same level as me. I don't have to hide behind people. If I mess up on the video, I'll own up to it and stuff. You, on the other hand, it's like you have to, it's pretty much just like one of them like horse and carriage things where it's like, yeah, your fans are the horses and they just gotta take and lead you wherever and stuff. But yeah, it's a no respect for his fans. But yeah, because he just pretty much, he tells them to jump and they ask how high. So
to be fair, at the beginning of this year, but obviously it slowed down significantly more, or went down significantly faster.
Yeah.
I love that once you both got your audio sorted and you were able to hear each other, the first thing you decide to talk about is the fact that both your channels are suffering. And in the case of Boblacks, they've been very proactive when it came to streaming instead, realizing that video-wise, things aren't looking so good, so they're rebuilding themselves on the Bobby channel. Makes some sense. The Twitter versus stuff does work, but is nowhere near where it once was as far as viewership goes. And what with all the respect they lost, which is important, the views went with it. In the case of Just a Robot, you've had 2 channels because you got hacked, and you've never been the most proactive of creators, so you're always going to struggle.
Over the summer, for sure.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
I lost like 9 to 11K subs thanks to my drama. How many did you lose?
Probably around the same, but I was on a slight downward trajectory prior to that, so I don't know how much is that and how much is the other, you know.
I often get
yeah, because when he did his last video, because he did a video like this on me where it's like, where it's TMossBoss now, and in the video he was just talking, because last year I had a big like, you know, rising with content, like I started uploading voiceover content, so it was it benefited my channel and I started growing a lot. And then I guess he was trying to live off of that you know, success, because his channel was on the dying end, so that's why he did his video. And it's like, fam, if anybody wants to, it would take less time to search my name up, scroll through whatever videos you want to see, or if you just want to look at my channel and just see where I'm at, it will take less time to do that than it is to watch a however many minute video about me. So yeah, that is one thing for sure though. It's like if somebody else is, you know, like if they're getting a little bit more views than him, he's gonna make a video about them. That's why you see where he's all like, oh, let me go after the media reviews and you know, stuff like that, because I can at least talk on things that's doing better than me and try to live off of the success of whatever it is that I'm talking about versus making his own success. So it's like, yeah, people, the thing is this, I feel like the difference between my videos and his is that people come to my channel for me. People go to your channel just to see whatever it is that you're talking about. But it's like, if you remove me from my channel, then it's like, well, what's there? But if you remove yourself from your channel, then it's like, yeah, the people, they go and they can watch whatever it is, where it's like, okay, the media reviews, you talk on Dragon Ball Z or something, people could still watch Dragon Ball Z. So it's like you're just kind of like a middleman, or like whether they can easily be removed. But it's like me, on the other hand, it's like, I guess people could say the same, but I feel like that when it comes to my content, it's like, hey, I want to see your reaction. Don't nobody care about what you have to say, especially if it's something negative, where it's like, okay, let's say, and it can even be positive too. I think that would be the only thing, but that's the thing about him. He ain't going to be positive if he's talking about something. So yeah, it's like, you'll say like, oh, I hate this show, I hate how it looks, I hate the voice acting and all this other stuff. People are still going to go out and watch that show. So it's like, the funny thing is that you can get your videos removed from your, even when your channel got hacked and it was gone for a little bit, it was like, okay, that's like, anyways, moving on with our day and stuff. I ain't never been in no situation like that. Heaven forbid if I ever do get in a situation like that. But yeah, it's one of those things where yeah, it's just, you know, the internet can live without Just a Robot content, you know. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, your videos are I at least for to me, it's like they're not entertaining. It's not content where it's like, oh, I got to see some Just a Robot content and stuff. But that's why I'm like, yeah, come next year, I'm moving on from this. I mean, yeah, I might do like a story time here and there, might make a joke, but as far as doing like how I did this past year, no, yeah, I'm focusing more on my. I mean, I did focus more on myself this year than the Just a Robot content, but I feel like that there was time and opportunities for me to focus on other content than the Just a Robot content. So it's no disrespect to anybody that's making videos on Just a Robot. I know there are some videos that will be coming out about him, where I'm most likely will check them out. And I think he did say that he has a video out about well, not out now, but he's gonna most likely at some point in time upload a video about me. Probably give out a quick reaction to that. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, fam, it's going to be more videos of like whatever it is that I want to talk on and focusing on my other channels than to, you know, focus on stuff like this. Because it's the thing is this, if I could just pretty much sum it up, it's like we already know what Just a Robot is about. It's really up to him at the end of the day if he wants to change. If not, then yeah, that's just, you know, him throwing away his career. But if he does change, then I guess let's see how good the change is and how long it lasts before he crashes out and then goes right back to doing what he's been doing. So
Of sounding like I'm bored, or I speak too slow, or I'm not very interested. I would like to now present this as evidence that I'm nowhere near as dull. Although I will admit, when things do get difficult, and it happens to all creators, how we respond defines us. I become more proactive because I want to fix it. I know right now I'm also on a downward trajectory, and that's okay. I firmly believe in hard work paying off, and I will persevere because I love this. I always have done.
Same, it's a f***ing autistic genocide going on right now, man.
I guess. And then I also didn't upload a lot either, so
Same.
So
I've discovered that you could be the most active creator in the world, and you can still suffer, but if you are far too inactive, you definitely suffer. Just a Robot has never been the most active creator, nor have
yeah, I'm like, I say that from my own experience. I remember when back, I wasn't really uploading on this channel back in 2015, and I was losing subscribers. Like, I had some videos that did go viral, and they did get a lot of views, and it seemed like it was a little bit easier back then to gain subs and all that stuff. Because I ended up gaining, like, I think it was well over 3,000 subscribers. But no, eventually I did end up, I stopped uploading on this channel, and then was just, I upload occasionally. But I was more so focused on my my gaming channel. And so, yeah, I remember, I think when I noticed that I had lost a lot of subscribers, and I think I was like at 2,900. And then it was a YouTuber at the time named Ask a Gangsta. He shouted me out, and then yeah, it did good for my channel. It's like, you know, views, subs, all that stuff. It started rising. So that's like the philosophy on like content creation, is that you have to be active, but also on top of that, it's like you gotta be cool with people to where it's like they'll talk about you in a good way, and then they'll benefit your channel and stuff. But yeah, no, it's like if you out here doing stuff like him, Just a Robot, then yeah, it's one of those things where it's just, you know, you'll notice it one day that your channel is gonna be in the dying stage, and then yeah, if you go down the route of, well, let me just do a video that's really gonna kill off my channel, that Cinebear video, then yeah, it's like, don't be surprised, I guess, when you realize, like, dang, I'm never going to get back to that state that I was in when I was doing well. Because it's like, yeah, you messed your whole career up and stuff. Or you could go down the route where it's all like, hey, let me be a more positive and outgoing and good content creator, then yeah, you'll notice the rise in your content. But anyways, I just say that because I'm like, yeah, at one point in time, I was like at 30-some thousand subscribers based off of reaction videos. And then even before I started doing reaction videos, I was like at 2,900 subscribers. Where am I at now? So yeah, views and all that stuff, I might like, yeah, it might be the main videos, like the full length videos and stuff, where you know, they might not do so well in views, but the voiceovers and all that other stuff, the content, yeah, I like, yeah, I'm like, but I always piss people when they try to, like, I guess, make me feel bad about my views. I'm like, well, why is my the social blade and my analytics, why does it say differently? I'm like, yeah, you guys might say it's a dead channel, but at the same time, I'm like, I am getting views elsewhere to where it's still benefiting my channel and stuff. So yeah, I'm like, you guys gonna talk about my videos, talk on all my videos. Don't just talk on the latest and be all like, oh well, that's all we gonna talk about. No, talk on all the videos, talk on the most viewed videos. Then that's why I have the subscriber amount. I should have more, but at the end of the day, that's up to people on whether or not they want to subscribe to my channel. So I guess like I just say that because I'm like, yeah, I noticed that I'll get like a lot of views throughout. Like if I upload a video and it goes viral, only a certain amount of people subscribe. I'm like, I guess like in just a robot sense, it's like, here it is. You have like you were doing good at one point in time, but then it started dying off, and then it's like, okay, well, it's like what's going on with your channel? Here it is, you're uploading, you're doing the same thing as everybody else is doing, but yet your channel is still in a dying stage. What's up with that? So it's like, at least for me, I could say that, yeah, my channel, I might not get the views that I want to get from my most, or from my the full videos, the full length or the longer videos, but at least it counts elsewhere and stuff. So but yeah, I just know his fans, they still gonna be on my channel. I'm like, oh, you only have a certain amount of views and you have all these subscribers and stuff. And I'm like, y'all just don't even bother to check the most viewed videos. No, that's the stuff that they'll say. Most viewed videos don't count. Then what's the point of having them there? I'm like, that just to me. And then it's funny, the same videos they'll say that on, they'll be sometime down the road, then they end up being the most viewed video. Then they're like, oh no, that video doesn't count no more. And it's like, man, get out of here with that. It's like, oh, it only counts when you guys are in the right side of the argument, but then when you're on the wrong side of it, then it don't count no more. It's like, I'm like, I ain't even hearing that.
When it came to the Twitter versus content, was mostly active when drama unfolded. Once they became a part of the drama, that wall, that barrier that existed that allowed them to, without any consequence, make their content, was gone. And in Just a Robot's case, he was always involved in the drama, but he believed himself untouchable because he always won.
So I have a quick question for you. What's your profile picture from? I recognize Shadow, obviously.
My Discord one is Urgot from League of Legends.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real here. I only know Master Yi and every character from the TV show Arcane, and that's it.
While many in the comments to the upload of this Discord call reference the discomfort, how it seemed like they were trying to kiss each other, or one was trying to kiss the other.
Oh, I think this is ain't this the call where it sounded like he was crying a little bit? Yeah, I think this might be the call that Just a Robot, he sounded like he was shedding a tear, like the drama and all that stuff, it was getting to him. He's like, I tried so hard, and it's like, yeah, bro, it's you tried so hard, yeah, and it's like, look at where you're at right now, and it's like, that's why I'm just, I don't know, I guess like if I'm watching this video without any knowledge, I don't know nothing about Just a Robot, like me and our paths never cross any of that. If I know the context on why he sounded emotional in this call, then I'm like, okay, well, what did you expect? And I'm like, you did a video that people didn't agree with. And I'm like, so it's the one time, I guess. So like, let's say if that is, the case where he's won every single drama, argument, debate, all the different like stuff that he's been a part of, the one time you lose, then you have like a fit over it and stuff. Man, it's one of those things. I'm like, you see how silly that looks? It's like, fam, it's one of those things where you have to accept defeat and you have to accept the fact that you were wrong. I'm like, there's no way possible for you to be right in this argument, debate, any of that. Because I feel like he'll hear what I'm saying and then he's all like, no, he'll like try to like, I don't know, like it's kind of like how with Spider-Man, with the Green Goblin, he had that mask and it was talking to him. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much Just a Robot mask talking to him, talking to Luke, and then telling them like, what does TMossBoss know? He don't know nothing about you. You were right in that drama. You were right in that. And then he'll come out in the video and he was like, yeah, I was right in the Cinder stuff. And I was right when I said this. And I was right when I said that. It's just, yeah, it's going to be one of those things where I guess like people, if they would look at me for answers, I'm like, what did I tell you guys? I'm like, he doesn't listen to people. That's not his thing. That's not what he does. All right. As soon as it's that one person that says something that it makes sense, but he doesn't want it to make sense, that's when he just backtracks and he's like, nope, you guys are wrong. I'm not listening to you. Plugs his ears up and he's like, I ain't hearing nothing that you guys got to say.
The fact that this proves the theory untrue, that two negatives don't in fact cancel each other out. And before someone now gets really offended about that, it's just a jerk, bre. Calm your tits and have a biscuit.
Anything you're working on right now?
No, there are some stuff I'm working on, but I don't really want to talk about it.
Hey, that's fine, man. If you, I'm not gonna force you.
When it came to how both Boblax and Just a Robot handled the situation, it often baffled me. In the case of Boblax, this was and had been their career for so long. Just a Robot had a job. So yes, there was some balancing act, but whether or not they could have been more proactive as far as content creators go to try and rebuild the integrity side that had been harmed for both of them. I guess it's a lot harder to do when your emotions are right at the front and you don't know how to express it without it compromising your content. But by being inactive, your content was also compromised. It's a no-win situation, isn't it? I guess since I've not been in these situations...
Maybe it's the video itself, because I was like, I don't know, I was worried, because I'm like, man, don't tell me like my Wi-Fi went out or something, because I was like, I don't know, like I've been having some crazy weather. I live on the in Washington State, so yeah, I think we all know about the floods and all that, and I just had my power go out. I live in an area where I'm like kind of safe, you know, from all of it, but it's still kind of like close by and things. But yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's been crazy past few days and stuff. Just kind of getting a little off topic, but no, I thought it was me. That's like the quality. I was like, hold on, I'm like, did the video stop? I guess like we'll know if it does at any given point in time. But anyways,
and I've only ever seen people handle it poorly and end up ruining their careers. I sit back and just wonder if there ever is a path forward for creators like Just a Robot and Boblax or Bobby.
Yeah, But I am working on like some side stuff for my gaming channel occasionally, and like I'm always doing like little things here and there, you know. So I'm staying afloat, but it definitely sucks that I feel like I'm in a position where no matter what I'm upload, even if it's a good video, it's coming from a guy who people think is uncool, or to put it lightly, or whatever, to whatever varying degree of that.
Untrustworthy is the correct word. Lacking integrity is another, but trust is important. You did something that violated another person's trust to make a wider point. The wider point fell flat because of the means you employed to obtain it. You were, a commentary channel that just read tweets. You rarely inserted opinion on purpose. That made you, at the time when you were riding the wave of your plateau, which was quite high, it made you almost untouchable. But then when things started to go wrong and you got more invested in live streams, you started getting more personal, angry, angsty, aggressive, and drunk, you were compromised. And then you compromised yourself when you violated trust. It's like rule 1 for commentary.
I think he might be talking about the Bobby or Boblax person. I don't really know too much about them. I just know the only video I've ever seen was, I heard of their name before. They did that call with Just a Robot, but after that, I'm like, I don't really know too much about them. You know, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, hey, that's Omega, and I'm like, what they got going on. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and just, you know, and just keep quiet and stuff. I might chime in and say some things, but I'm like, I really don't know too much about the Bobby / Boblax person. But anyways,
you don't have trust. You don't have support.
So the video is automatically going to be seen in a negative or critical lens, regardless if it's even good or not. So
this is 100% correct. And much like with Just a Robot, the only thing you can do is push forward and keep trying. Unless quitting is an option to you, it is the only option for you. And I don't want people to quit, just to be clear. I want everyone to have a chance to try again. But the internet as a whole don't generally give second chances.
I'm just kind of waiting for that to, obviously will never stop, but I mean die down to a point where like I could come back with something kind of completely different and new, and people would be open to it and not immediately just think this guy, you know.
I know what you mean,
like
man.
A couple months or what have you, but
sadly for both of you, because of inactivity or because of attempts to try and be something else or do something else, it is unlikely you'll ever manage to get by, you know, without that scrutiny always being there. Integrity is so important. It really is. The trust that comes from that is vital, and you've both been here long enough to know that once it's gone, you're unlikely to ever get it again. And this is not going to be a dig at where you are on the Mayo Monkey or Bobby channel. No, not even slightly. It's just stating the obvious when it comes to where you're at, because things haven't turned around. But there are less people now appearing in your comment sections, so yay for that, I guess. The more recent videos, not many, but those that you have done aren't doing horrendously.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much the only option that has been left to me.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to wait out the hate.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is he says that, But with just a robot, at least really like with the situation with me and him, that and that's what I was doing. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to wait it out, wait until I get into, you know, much more better state when it comes to content creating. And at the time being, I didn't realize that, you know, if I got myself involved in a community, then his fans would back off, and that's what had happened. And I think he'll probably try to pull some stuff like that where he'll try to get himself involved. And I think that's probably why he's trying to do the media reviews, kind of like a safe haven, you know, to where it's like, oh, I can run over here and stuff. But it's like, fam, if they're gonna be like, hey, we don't want you a part of our community, you could go somewhere else with that. But no, yeah, I remember at the time when the drama it died off because I got a part of the Rainbow Six Siege community. And then, yeah, you know, just reacting, showing love to the people part of that community and stuff. It's funny, like throughout my duration of when I was reacting to that community, I think I only played like Siege maybe once or twice, you know, but I was more so like doing what I can to support the creators' content and stuff. So, but yeah, it was like channels that were a lot bigger than just the robots. And yeah, he was all like, nope, I'm not gonna engage. And that's why it was like I think he thought that by that time, like when he did the last video on me, to where it's TMossBoss now, I think he was just more so doing that, thinking that the millions of views that I was getting, that some of those views was gonna go over to him. And it's like, yeah, people, they know of me through the voiceover content, but at the same time, it's like they don't know me enough to where if they see a video get uploaded about me, they gonna watch it. Especially if they're like, where is TMossBoss now? To any of my new subscribers, they can see what I'm doing now by clicking on my channel. I guess if it's somebody that hasn't really heard or seen about me in a while, then yeah, then they might check out the video. But if not, they do the logical thing. They're gonna be like, I could just go to his channel and just see what he's doing. So yeah, it's one of those things where yeah, he's just not really a thinker when it comes to, he's just not cut out for content creating. I said that before and I'm saying it again. Just a robot. He never has been and never will be cut out for content creating. So
you're close friends with Keemstar, right?
No, not really, but I've been in group chats with him.
Okay, so let me ask you this about Killer Keemstar. Like, remember when he was getting disliked bomb on each and every single one of his videos, like 8 years ago or some shit?
Yes.
Yeah, and he waited it out.
Yeah.
So there would be some merit.
Yeah, but he apologized. I think, didn't he apologize for that crap too? Like, I think it was because it was like, oh, he was being racist. Like, he said something about it was some guy named Alex. And he was all like, oh, yeah, he was all like, go tell Alex he's an N-word or something like that. But he apologized for it. And yeah, it's still one of those things where I'm like, you know, if people forgive him for it, then they do. If they don't, they don't. But I still think that the conversation surrounding Keemstar is a negative conversation. Like, yeah, he's in a better place than he was back then, but at the same time, yeah, you know, it's people don't like him. I think they just go to his channel to watch. It's kind of like another situation like with his channel. It's like people go to his channel to watch what's being talked about, but they're not there for him. So yeah, I'm like, and it's, yeah, like I said, same situation with just a robot. It's like people are there to, you know, I guess for the content or whatever it is that you're talking about, but they're not there for, or the topic, the subject, they're just not there for you. So it's like, the funny thing is, and so I guess like to use like an example, if let's say just a robot was like, I'm stepping away from my channel and somebody else is going to take over the just a robot persona and stuff, still be the same thing. If not, it'll probably benefit the channel if he were to do some stuff like that. But and then I feel like then he'll probably be like, oh, he's like, well, nah. He's like, hey guys, he's like, I'm back, and then it's just gonna put the channel in a dying state. They were like, no, the other person that was, you know, portraying is just a robot. They did better than you. So yeah, it's one of those things. I think that his career, it's done. You know, like let's say if, because then Keemstar, then he announced he was gonna retire and he never did. I don't know what the situation came out of that, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you could announce that you're retiring, people are like, all right, I guess, it's like, so long. They just go on about their business. But yeah, it's like we won't be in a dying need of just a robot content, you know. So anyways,
said, however, Keemstar is definitively uncancelable. It is an immutable fact. I don't know how he's managed to do that, but he has. Also, Keemstar was a lot smarter than many creators. Keemstar invested in property and made sure that he had a nest egg by taking advantage of every opportunity that presented itself. I do think that Drama Alert could have become a live format, but the lolcow thing, oh yeah, that's becoming quite lucrative, I'm sure. And entertaining to many, I'm certain of that as well. In the case of the individual, in this instance both of you, the individuals, it is a false equivalence because of what Keemstar went on to do next. And what you two have gone on to do next doesn't come close to what he has done to remedy the situation that is ride the wave or double down. Keemstar's hardly known for apologizing after all.
Also, he did apologize.
It's just about what the audience has been directed towards by, people who want to make drama content, right? So it's like,
Boblax.
what has been the talk of the town?
Boblax.
The audience is going to focus on at any given moment.
Boblax, listen. Me and you, we're the same, man. We're both Spurg. So, like, unlike everybody else, like, I can actually, like, talk to you, like a normal person.
I don't understand autism fully.
I feel like that's like that. If they were having an IRL conversation, I feel like that's like when Just a Robot. It's like he gotta like put his head on their shoulder and stuff, and then Boblax, they gotta like push it off and be all like, "Hey, don't touch me." It's like whatever you got, I don't want it. So I'm like, we're not alike. I feel like if it was a toss up between Boblax taking accountability for whatever they've done and or Just a Robot, yeah, we'll see Boblax in a better standings with content creating. Just a Robot, he comes off as like that kid that at the high school reunion where they still trying to act like how they did when they were in high school, and it's like, fam, it's been 20 years. Like you gotta let that go. You gotta stop. Like you really have to stop. I'm like, it's getting to a point now where you're starting to bother people, and it's getting kind of scary. Like, do I need to call somebody? You let me know. But yeah, that's the mentality that I feel like all of us it'll be like a 10-year difference from like this point in time, right? We'll probably see where a lot of us is in the better standings with content creating. Omegon, they probably, the guy where it's like a podcast or a platform where there's multiple people on there talking about whatever. With me, it's like I want to get more into like doing like acted out content. So I'm like, I might be doing some short films, or starring in like video games, movies, whatever the case may be and stuff, or whatever I guess my path, because there's multiple different things that I'm doing. So it is like, yeah, then what Blacks, whatever I guess their passions and stuff is. It's like if we were to come back 10 years later and revisit this conversation, Just a Robot's going to be the only person still doing the same thing. Even if he were to quit his job and start doing content creating full time, he still would be in the same situation. So that's why I'm like, I personally don't see, because the thing is this, Just a Robot, he could upload okay, so yeah, 300. He could upload a video every single day come next year. Quit his job, upload a video every single day. I guarantee and I promise you there's going to be one video that gets him canceled all over again. So yeah, it's like, and that's the thing where Just a Robot, if he's confused, I'm like, yeah, the difference between you, Keemstar, and all that, and I guess anybody else is that, yeah, Keemstar, but yeah, that could be the truth, where Keemstar is just, he can't be canceled. You on the other hand, can be canceled. I like the internet. I think that because a lot of people do I know at times I'm like, I'll more so with Twitter, it's like if there's some news going on, I'll check Drama Alert or Keemstar's Twitter account. But other than that, it's like people can live without your content. It's one of those things where it's like if you were to announce that you were quitting or retiring or giving the channel to somebody else, we wouldn't lose no sleep over it. It's like, oh, okay, like I said, like bye, see you around, I guess. I'm like, adios. But yeah, it's like we're not gonna be like, oh no, please don't go. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things that like, all right, I'm like, yeah, see when I see you, I guess. But anyways,
I really don't, but I know that interpersonal skills are really complicated for those who are autistic, depending on where they reside anyway. I don't think this is the brotherhood, sisterhood, hood, whatever it is you think it is, Jar, but it's certainly entertaining me so far.
Sure.
We're the same race. We're both white. Us whiteies got to stick together, man.
For sure.
It's like, like, what did you mean by that? Like, it's one of those things where I just like, did you have some hidden agenda with that statement? I guess I never really had paid attention to that before, but now it's like thinking about it, opening back up that racism conversation. What you mean by that, Jar? What did you mean by us whiteies have to stick together? I'm like, what? I guess like what would the conversation have been if Boblax wasn't white? know. So yeah, that's one of those things. I'm like, yeah, just a robot. He definitely, when he says things, he has like a hidden message between it. It's one of those things, you know, you gotta like take that part out, flip it backwards, and listen. I'm like, oh, yep, he's saying something. But
I
anyways,
hear you're trans or something. You go by they them.
I'm non-binary. Yeah.
Okay,
Call me any pronoun you want.
you know, I vibe with that. Like, a lot of my best friends are non-binary, but you know, I am binary.
it's just, I guarantee it. I promise you. Let it be where he gets into it with somebody where they make him so upset, and yeah, let's say they're you know, part of the LGBTQ community, non-binary, binary. Okay, I was like, yeah, I was like talking so fast and like sound like I was mispronouncing it, or yeah, mispronouncing it and stuff. I need to stop doing that, talking so fast. But anyways, no, I guarantee and I promise you he'll say something offensive to them. You know, he was all like, oh, he was like, they say that they go by they them pronouns, but what bathroom do they really go to? Yeah, it's like, the thing is this, just a robot. He's one of those people where it's like you ain't seen enough of his content to know how he talks. And I guarantee and I promise you, he will be offensive to somebody that was like, oh, I go by these pronouns. He would still call them different pronouns and stuff. So anyways.
I'm a robot. We're nothing but binaries.
Yes, of course.
A small part of me wants to play Just a Robot's outro music because of the poem you have in there, your modulated voice. Yeah. And we can identify ourselves any way we like. Of course, I got hood right to an extent, just the wrong one, pointed in this instance for them. Yes, it's a joke, calm yourself. I don't care what Boblax identifies as, doesn't matter to me in the slightest. It's of no importance to me after all, nor any content they may have made. Oh, blimey. Anyone that wants to make that their identity, their hook, go nuts, don't care. If you can relate to each other because of what you've experienced as creators, great. I don't think you being a robot, changes anything really.
Yes. For sure, man.
Did you hear about the dream I had about you?
No.
So I had this dream where Nicholas Diorio and Turkey Tom and Augie RFC all contacted me telling me I had to talk to you because I was the only one who could reach you. And I think we jumped into a call together and I said, the difference between you and me is you suffer from autism. I enjoy every minute of it.
Oh dear God, you've actually managed to make my skin crawl a little. How weird. Being English, we're quite emotionally repressed. To hear such heartfelt commentary and a dream no less, you're sharing intimate thoughts, makes me wish the Sandman erased you. Is this the part where I say something really strange like I like toast or charcoal as others like to call it because they're wrong?
Yeah, it's like I'm telling you, his thought process, I don't look. Hey, if it's the autism speaking and all this other stuff, then yeah, I'm like, you got to go get that checked out. You need some sort of professional help. But if not, and that's just on him, it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, bro, you can't come up with no excuses about like, oh, I was under the influence, or it was my autism. It was speaking to me like the Green Goblin mask. It's like, yeah, and that's honestly what that is and stuff. But no, yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, I'm just not buying it. I'm like, you said that unprovoked. Just like, hey, no, the funny thing is that when you look at there, because he was just a robot, he was trending a little bit on TikTok, and yeah, people were making videos about him because it was the Jaden Animations comment that he made where he was all like, "Oh, I'm attracted to Jaden Animations, not her." Like, you know, who, like, you know, like Jaden and like, I guess the person behind like her avatar and all that. No, he said that he was attracted to her avatar. It's like, fam, it's a stick figure. I'm like, how do you get attracted to some stuff like? So yeah, it was like people were saying that they was like, you know, like put me in an interrogation room with like FBI agents, like you would not be able to get that information out of me. Like you said that unprovoked. So yeah, it's just a lot of the times like even when he was talking with Cinnabear, he said that randomly. He was all like, oh well, he was like once upon a time I kissed an Italian man. However it went. But yeah, I'm like, why are you telling people that information? I'm telling you, it's like put just a robot in a situation like Lost, for an example. Like you guys are all trapped on an island and you're trying to figure out, it's like, okay, the plane came in from this way, it crashed here. So it's like, what did you guys see and stuff? So it was like, I think it was like, it looked like the engine exploded. And it's like, okay, well, what about you? And it's like, yeah, I think it was like, we might have caught like some bad turbulence. They pointed at just a robot and it's like, what about you? And he's like, you know, I wonder if African people have been here before. It seems like it has like an African vibe. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's like, we're trying to figure out how this plane crashed. And he's all like, can you make spaghetti out of sand? He was like, because there's this beach sand, and it kind of reminds me like that my autism, it's like it's telling me spaghetti and things. And it's like, okay, he's I think he might have hit his head. He might be suffering from a concussion. It's like, okay, what did you? It's like he says things where it's like, what are you talking about? Like he's somebody where it's like if you'd had him like in an interrogation room, he'll tell you some stuff where it's like, we didn't even bring you in for that, but elaborate. Like, no, tell us. He's like, I need some water real quick. I need to. He's like, my mind, it's getting overstimulated. I don't know what's going on right now. He's like, where am I and stuff. It's like you told us some information that we were just asking you, why was you speeding? Like where did all this other different stuff come from? Like even with the and then with the situation with the whole 16-year-old girl, and that'll probably be it. There's like, okay, sir, why was you speeding? He's like, hey, look, man. He was like, when I see a 16-year-old girl in a swimming pool, I gotta leave. There's like, what? Like, okay, hold on, time out. So yeah, it's like his conversation, his thought process with a conversation, he fast forwards it like, I guess like 10, 15 years. And it's like, fam, we're on day one. Slow down, relax, and just have a normal conversation with somebody.
Sonic short, I'm sure you've seen it.
I don't know if I've seen it, but the quote in general is funny.
Yeah.
You're not going to start drawing Sonichu episodes together, are you? Would you like us to order you some Crayola magic? Is that what it's called? Model magic? So you can make your own Sonichu medallions? I mean, if you're going to truly lean into this whole our channels are cancelled thing, that's how you do it. Although just a robot with a model magic Sonichu medallion, I know an artist who could do it for me. You know them too, Jar.
But, damn, I mean, yeah, obviously.
It's like, lights is flickering, so. Dang, man. It's like, they did say it's windy outside. Hopefully I could get this video out the way. And like, I just hope the power don't go out again. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that no more, man.
A lot, so maybe I've had dreams about like drama YouTubers and stuff like that, but that's kind of
yeah. I wonder if it's really bad, because I might just pause the video here and then come back to it and stuff, because it don't even sound windy outside. That's the thing that hopefully I could get through this video, because it doesn't sound windy. I guess if I started feeling like my house is going to flip upside down or something, then yeah, maybe. But I'm like, I think I made it so far in this video. I really hate to have it where I got to do this all over again. But anyways, let's just try.
A dream about you needing to like talk to me about what?
Making the sweet noodly love that you two deserve for one another. Clearly, that's what it is.
I don't know, dude. Like, I'm gonna be real here. The only thing I know about your drama is I saw one clip where Nicholas Diorio said the only consistent thing about you is that how much you love Sonic. Apparently you got mad at Destiny, and the last thing I know about is like people seem to feel really bad for you. Like they seem to like, some people hate you, but others just feel bad for you. And
let me add an opinion. I'm allowed to. It's my channel. This one is anyway. When what happened to Boblax went down, I made it a point not to cover it because I was a bit burnt out mostly. But upon watching it, the one thing I took away from it was Boblax violated trust. So if Boblax wanted to improve, they had to re-earn it. Never an easy feat. It takes many years, but the stain of corruption never truly dies. So if Boblax truly wanted that future to be what they had in the past, so they could live in the present free of that consequence, it's non-existent. Apologies for a lot of people, sure. Lots of ribbing, reaming, and bumming, sure. But ultimately, the future is theirs to decide. That's it, really. In the case of you, you buried your head in the sand and walked away, Jar. Because you're a coward.
I think you used an AI voice at one point, and people said you should replace yourself with the AI voice, which I can't imagine is a fun thing to hear. And that's all I know. Like, I haven't seen a single full video about it. I've just seen like a clip someone sent me here and there.
Well, that's okay, because you can take that Just a Robot, and much like how you covered Cinebear, you could turn it into a video of ill-informed commentary, because that's the story of your career, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's what they're saying. Sorry, I'm like really high. That's generally, I guess, what people are saying. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like mad at Destiny. I was frustrated with the community and their like their kind of force to kind of talk about certain people a certain way or another way. Like there's like biases or whatever. Like if I went after Team Star like in any way, they would get mad at me.
Then you should have done it. But then this is where what you were and what you were trying to be blurred the lines a bit. You were just somebody who read tweets. You didn't really add anything to it on purpose. You wanted to be somebody that added more perspective on things. So you did bleed it into your content, and that's when the negativity started coming. When we start to put more of our personality online, especially if we cultivate an audience that don't trust us as much, we always run the risk of this happening. In your instance, there was a lot of tribalism. You were part of a commentary bro community, right? You were very much a part of the newer version, which has since fallen apart at a rate faster, as a community, faster than what happened to the anti-SGWs and the skeptics, which I'm impressed by, to be honest. Not that any community has what is considered longevity. In fact, it is only the creator that can have that if they want it.
Destiny was like a really sore topic. Anytime I mentioned Destiny, for some reason it was tried.
I'm just making sure. I'm like, if I hear any form like hard wins and things, I'm like, yeah, I'll come back to this video at a later time. But anyways,
So like, it was assumed that I was like obsessed with him just because I mentioned him. But even though I like never really talk about him or think about him, I do kind of find it annoying how like there's clear scenarios where Destiny is kind of like morally in the wrong or looking really dubious or whatever. And
Well, that aged well. That aged well.
And in this instance, they're both right.
it's like he cracks a joke. It is like, man, you know what? I will pay good money to see Just a Robot do stand-up comedy. Like, no, that's something where I'm like, hey, if you're looking for a new profession, that's the profession. It's either, the thing is this, he's either going to be really good at it, and then that's his career path and all that stuff, or it's going to be one of those things where it's kind of like people are just sitting and looking like, what? Wait a minute, what? I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? It's like, yeah, it's you. I'm telling you, people, we have to make it happen. We need to see Just a Robot do stand-up comedy. I'm like, that's one of those things where, like I said, I will pay good money. If it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, if somebody got to like, I will pay somebody either to record it or to, if I got to go out and get tickets and go there myself. I'm like, it's one of those things. I'm like, I have to see that because I just know it's either going to be like, well, dang, I didn't realize he was going to be that good at it and stuff like that. This is what he should have been doing all along. Or it's going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to sit here, my arms folded. I'll just be like, I do that this is going to be the entertainment that I needed. Or it might just be that cringy where I'm like, dang, man, I wish I would have never even said nothing. I'm like, he is up there like literally bombing his like this whole stand-up comedy act and stuff. It's like, nah, I'm leaving. I'm walking out and I'm leaving.
Now, Just a Robot, in his previous video that we went through, not the Discord call, had said he was going to be refraining from talking about drama going forward because he's ill-suited to this. So naturally, he went back on that promise. At time of recording, the video has 123 upvotes to 91 downvotes and 3,000 views. Congratulations. For a video that's over an hour long, this isn't great, but if your intention is to rebuild, good luck to you. Before we delve into any parts of this video that concerns Ponder Sprocket not being a hero, let's go with that. According to the video description anyway, I want to go through some of the comments, because I think it's important to get some reception so we know exactly where we're going with this. Oh, and because it tickled me to no end, I can't help but notice you still haven't credited your avatar artist in your videos. Have you considered just not using it anymore? You're welcome. So in the first comment, it's the
okay, so I see what I see what he's saying. So yeah, because he even before, like when if you guys check on his old channel, that it was, you could tell that like robot figure thing, it wasn't his. Like you didn't have nobody create that for you, because I think I had even seen that like picture of that robot before, and then it's like, yeah, then it's just, you know, seeing it more so used with him, and I'm like, fam, I think that was the thing where it's like, I remember his fans saying that, where I'm like, you're not, they're saying that about me, like saying that I don't upload original content, I'm not an original person, but I'm like, fam, literally his profile picture is not even original. It's like he just went and copied and pasted that somewhere and then just used it for himself. So yeah, it's like, yeah, credit that person, okay, so now I'm like, I don't know why I'm like, it just wasn't, I'm thinking it's like the thumbnails and stuff like that, but then I'm like, oh, the avatar, I don't know why I was thinking thumbnails. Like, yeah, my brain was in there. I think that's like the thing when you watch too much Just a Robot content, your brain, it's like you know, like if your brain goes around like this, it kind of like, it slows down and then it just starts going in the opposite direction, but like 10 times faster and stuff. So it's like your thought process, it's the same, but then it's like along the lines of some Just a Robot stuff where it's like, what's going on right now? No, I need to step away. I need to go outside and get me some fresh air or something.
Indicating that the video was edited by Just a Robot, and thanking Akumu for digging up information over the years. Replies, if you edited the video, why did you include poorly censored cub PORN? That's not a good start, is it? Next comment. Okay, where was this attitude with Cinebear? Jar, it's been over a year. Move on. Reply. So has most of the stuff you mentioned in the video. Shouldn't you move on too? H2O Thomas. You.
And the funny thing is, it's like, I guess I can use his same argument response against him. I'm like, that's an invalid argument. Please try again. Like, no, that was one thing that he always would say, where it's like, if him and his fans would come to my channel and they were like, oh, you're doing reaction videos in this way and stuff, I'm like, if you don't like the content, move on. And they're like, that's an invalid argument. And I'm like, it's common sense. How is that invalid? But no, yeah, it's like, that's definitely who I would, I guess, like, because I didn't really care about that. I was like, I did hear when people were all like, oh yeah, he got back into doing drama, and it's like, well, why are you guys surprised and stuff? So, but anyways, oh yeah, I think people, they should say that to him and stuff. It's like, you know, no, it's like, ain't no, say that's an invalid argument. It's like, no, you need to answer the question and answer it truthfully.
Said you wouldn't do drama videos anymore. Why are you going back on your word? Just focus on your media reviews and stop getting involved in situations like this. Reply. Name a drama channel who didn't go back to drama. Reply. Oh well, that's alright then I guess. Are you serious? Jar, I mean, I sure as hell can't. Personally, and I'm going to insert this here, I do think you should stick to media stuff. This is not your strong suit. Even if you're thinking of doing retrospectives, the risk of you making mistakes is far too high. Kinggate, I thought you promised Leo you would not do drama content, not defending Ponder, just saying. Reply. Didn't Leo also promise to stop doing drama videos at one point? The way I see it, I can do what I want. Also, did a few drama videos on the old channel and no one cared. It's not that no one cared, it's that much like views I get, no one gives a shit about you, because there's nothing you offer anymore. When you start getting some steam, people are going to drag you out to drag you back down again. Not to keep your ego in check, but because you kind of don't learn your lesson. Something the slowpoke. Is this a look into your Tower of Babel? Hopefully you can sleep peacefully, Mr. Robot. Reply. To be honest, I made that up to sound cool. It technically exists in my brain though. I know where to find things, I'm just not organized enough to make folders. Reply from someone called Dreamer. You said that about the girl at the swimming pool too. Did you just make everything up? The Rose Boy. How can I make this about me as a quote? Video. Ponder has her bad habits, but you're the last one to talk regarding any drama. Just a robot. Less than 5% of this video is about me. Half of it is about Akumu. As you can tell, the responses are quite heavily mixed, and that's going to be an issue into this video because what Just a Robot does know and doesn't know, and how Just a Robot presents the information, is, if anything, just a damning statement for how long it takes for Just a Robot to make an opinion. Now, Leo Convoy has said this is all garbage. Let's see if we can find it.
No matter how perfect someone may seem, everyone has skeletons in their closet. Ponder Sprocket started in the SCC, which stands for Sideshow Commentary Community.
Happy birthday!
The community is even older than the gameplay commentary community, but most people don't know that because they never really became big. Before they had originally drawn avatars, they used characters from media. Most of the time, they'd even use PNGs of these characters. This community is almost as old as YouTube itself. A lot of people came and went over the years, but none of them have stuck around longer than Ponder.
Oh no, we are going back in time, aren't we now? I haven't heard the name Ponder Sprocket since, I'd say, when I first went to university. That name did pop up here and there. But in truth, much like the gaming community as a whole, I couldn't have cared less about it. This was when I wasn't really on the internet much, and in retrospect, I'm glad I wasn't. Because to see what happened to those in the earlier days of the internet, the poison that was created, yeah, nah. You are doing a retrospective, aren't you? This is a bit ironic, and those comments against you are justified.
But before I get into all the bad stuff Ponder Sprocket has done, it should be noted that Ponder has done a lot of good things, and they shouldn't just be discounted because of her mistakes, such as her helping to expose Cosmodor, defending Spoctor back when he was innocent, along with Dolly Guts as well. I think we all need to give her a hand for that one.
I've always taken the stance that you can be an absolutely abhorrent person, but sometimes you can still be that and say or do the right thing. I don't know any of those dramas, so I do not know, or incidents, actions, whatever. I don't know them, so I can't say whether or not Ponder was on the right side. But I have said it about the likes of Onision, where from time to time he has said something that is correct. The annoying thing is, once you in the online space do one wrong thing, everything else is wrong. You could say snow is white, and you'd be wrong. You could say the sky is blue, and before the pedantic person says it, don't bother, and you'd be wrong, because of those pedantic people. You could say the color red is actually the color yellow, which is actually the color blue, which is then back to red. It doesn't matter. And that applies to Ponder Sprocket as well, because the online space does not forgive.
That's very funny, but this is serious!
Because of this, tons of people have looked up to Ponder as a guiding light, despite her protest. She was put on a pedestal, and a lot of people saw her as an objective person. According to herself, she didn't really like the spotlight, but she wouldn't be in the center of everything if she didn't make videos on things that were guaranteed to get her a lot of views. She really milked the first Spoctor drama, and the Madame drama for as much as she could.
It's interesting you mentioned the Spoctor stuff, because she knew about Spoctor having nudes of a child past his 18th birthday, kicked him out of a server only to let him back into the server because another person called Chuli, as a minor, was manipulated by Spoctor. and as such were used as a proxy to get him back in. That is on the fandom wiki for Pondus Rocket. I feel like this is a remarkably short video now, isn't it? What is it with art, commentary, drawing types where this kind of crap is so prevalent? Can someone explain that to me, please?
And when I say she milked the Madame drama, I mean she really milked it. Whether it was her intention or not, Ponder caused harassment to be sent to a minor for over 4 years. Despite how many times she was shown to be in the wrong, she did not correct her mistake until shortly after my first response came out. In my first response, I directed people to Akumu's second video on her. She took the video down at long last, now that the broader commentary community knew about it.
I'm starting to understand now why people laid into you in the comments for making it about yourself. While you should of course take credit for any positive impact you've had in the online space, this will not placate those who look at you and go, you are an egomaniac. Main character syndrome, just a robot. Additionally, are you certain it was you that led to that change? Because you've been called a liar by a number of people. I wonder if this had anything to do with it.
Point is, I think my video really shook things up. So what was the lie Ponder told about Akumu, and why did it go on for so long? You might have heard of the Madame drama, where a Leafy clone who called herself Madame attempted to dox a minor who did artwork for her for free. After the artist talked a little shit about Madame, she attempted to dox the minor's phone number, but luckily it was a fake number from a free phone calling app. Even users like D'Angelo Wallace got involved in this drama.
You can tell we're going back in time, by the way, guys. D'Angelo Wallace hasn't been active on any of their channels in about 10 months. This feels old now. That's not a bad thing, by the way. It's always nice to hear some of the classics. But D'Angelo Wallace was a massive creator during their time. And we've said before, every creator makes a mistake. They really do. Some don't offer opinion, they just present information as is, like on Twitter threads, or as a thread on Twitter, but many don't see it that way. And since I don't have access to the tweet, or the tweet thread, I can't judge it. We can only base it on the information to hand, which is anecdotal at best. I'm also going to add that while there's still high likelihood that D'Angelo Wallace did say the things that Jar has said, without any proof of it, it is still just assertion. I'm not denying its existence, I'm saying you are stating something as fact with nothing to prove it as such. Your integrity's in the dirt. I can't trust that. And with some tweets replying, implying that it did in fact exist or providing some air of proof, perhaps, does lend credence to its existence or having existed, but does not confirm its existence. Just to be clear.
Akumu, back when he was 16, made the point that Madame didn't dox Lemurs. She just attempted to dox her. Yes, this point was super autistic of him to make, but he was a minor at the time, and he was also a super small channel. I think he had less than 100 subs at the time. As someone who has also tried to set the record straight on people who were getting hated on by the commentary community, I know what kind of stuff Akumu was dealing with.
Empathizing with someone like Akumu in this instance, I can fully understand in that context. Why you had to make the point is redundant. Like, you didn't have to insert yourself into the story here. No one cares about you, really, and that's why you're getting all those comments, why you received all those comments. The smart move would be to keep the story on track, but as is always the case with you, Just a Robot, everything has to be about you in some way. It's why over the years you inserted yourself into so many dramas, because then you can make yourself the main character in the story. While you were victorious in a number of dramas over the years, you're not going to be remembered for those. You're not going to be remembered for anything to do with Ponder Sprocket. You're really not. You're going to be remembered as the idiot that sided with Cinebear, and that's the simplest version of it.
People twisted what he said multiple times.
But yeah, unless like you know him, like me, for an example, then yeah. But I would say even outside of our problems, yeah, I think even it'll be one of those things where I'm like, if people like years down the road ask me like, hey, who was Just a Robot and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, it was this guy I got into it with and things. You know, he messed his career up by defending a pedophile, but yeah, you know, it's one of those, that's going to stand out more than anything. I'm like, yeah, even the stuff that he's done, said, and did on me, I have to say the craziest thing that he has done to me, besides like the drama, like, you know, the harassment and stuff over the years, it probably would be when he criticized me on how I was processing a friend's death. So yeah, it was like, for those that don't know that, so a friend of mine had passed away back in 2016. And I remember it was like, was it earlier this year or was it last year? It might have been earlier this year, but either way, regardless, there was somebody that was contacting me for an interview and like just talking on my situation with Just a Robot. And so they brought that up to me. And I remember when I sat down and watched the video, I'm like, if you would have seen me during that time frame, fam, I was depressed. Like it's okay. So the month prior, my grandfather, he passed away. A month later, then, yeah, it was this childhood friend of mine's. He got killed. Then a few months later, my other grandfather on my mom's side, he passed away. So when I'm trying to piece together, right, because that hadn't, my grandfather passed away. He passed away in March. That situation hadn't happened yet. But just with the two deaths that already had happened, I'm trying to figure out like what, like how can you criticize somebody in a very depressing mind space? That's what I would like to know. Yeah, that's one of those things where it's to me, it's funny how like he has tried to get on me over the years about how I respond to him, but at the same time, it's like you're saying things like that, I guess, to get a reaction out of me. So like, it's and he still ain't got no. I guess like I think what he was expecting was for me, I don't know, maybe to crash out or something in the video. But it's like, bro, I see what you're trying to do. I see that you're trying to get a reaction where it's like I'm flipping out on you and stuff. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't care. It's like if you feel the need to criticize me on how I'm processing a friend's death, I'm like, you didn't go through that. I did. So like it's something where I don't know. Me personally, I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, bro, that was a pointless video. I'm like, you accomplished nothing with that. And I ain't watched. He uploaded that video back, I think it was like 2016, 2017. I think it had to have been 2017, but either way, regardless, it's like you upload that video and what did you accomplish from it? It's like, yeah, you got a reaction out of it with like years later, but it's just more so me laughing at you. It's like you were that desperate to, I guess, get me to notice you to where you would talk on stuff like that. It's sad, bro, but anyway.
To make him look as bad as a person as possible. The smart thing and the normal thing for everyone to do would be to ignore his video. After all, he was a super small channel. But they wanted to talk about the Madame drama more, and his video was their excuse to do so. It's almost like they did this for clout or something.
As you well know, when it comes to commentary, it does not matter how big or small your channel is. If you make a bad point, you should be called out for it. To use the, what you're about to use anyway, of punching down argument is weak tea. I'll agree, if mistakes were made, that's not great. Of course not. And no one is saying Ponder Sprocket is innocent, but trying to make things seem a bit more sensationalist is tragic. And while I'm sure many people don't like the idea of somebody with a much bigger channel going after somebody who's got a much smaller channel, try not to take any kind of moral high ground here with it. We are all equals. A check mark, a play button doesn't change that. It really doesn't. We are all the same lowly plebeian oiks.
They took Akumu's 32-minute long video and made over 2.5 hours worth of content out of it. Out of everyone who spread lies about Akumu, Ponder was the biggest by far. She had roughly 100k subs at the time, and he had around like 100. No, not 100k, just 100 subs.
All things considered for Akumu, 4,000 subs, their viewership is fantastic. Honestly, they know exactly where they are strongest, and they do very well from that, proving that the sub count aspect is the irrelevant factor. It's the audience retention that matters the most. This is another one of those points that doesn't need to be in your video, really. I'm not debunking whether Akumu is innocent or guilty, because I don't need to. Ponder Sprocket made some big mistakes. That much is well established in the online space. Your choice of position for argumentation is the weakness. I'm also somewhat surprised you bothered making this video in the first place, considering Akumu had uploaded and did better on viewership a TTR Ponder Sprocket info galore and summary. A lot of their more recent content, after a bit of a gap, has covered Ponder Sprocket and other art content creators. An hour and 14 minutes though. Interesting. As an update to Just a Robot, he has got a new channel. Originally called Just a Robot where the O's in Robot were zeros, now it's called Just a Robot Reviews. It currently only has 4 videos on the channel at time of recording on the 9th of November 2025. The videos, as you can see, are incredibly long. If this is Just a Robot's path forward, fair play to the person, to Lukey Wookie, but I don't believe with all the time and effort put in, he is going to ever amount to what he had before when he had over 180,000 subscribers on his main channel. Now he does still upload to his main channel-ish, but he had announced he was moving to a new channel, and then shortly after, and then along came Hassan Piker as a meme. So his intentions clearly are to move away from this channel as it no longer serves the purpose it once served when he had a chance at a better future, which makes perfect sense when you've done all the damage that Just a Robot, Lukey Wookie, has done, all through lack of comprehension, or during the conversation with Boblax, he stated being incredibly autistic and dyslexic, like the kind of dyslexia that no one else has. Insert Pokemon music here. For me, I will always have some disdain towards the creator because of how he treated my avatar artist, who is his avatar artist. I will always have disdain, but I do believe everyone deserves a chance to try. You can make 1,000 videos throughout your entire career, and all of them perfect, and then you make your 1,001st video, and you make a mistake. People don't remember the 1,000 videos before, they remember the one mistake you made. You poison your own well through your own stupidity. It is our job to remain vigilant and consistent. And because Just a Robot has been outed as a man who does not have values but follows trends and starts fights that he knows he can win, it is unlikely Just a Robot will ever be where he once was. But he does at least have, I think it is 2 play buttons to his name. It's one more than me. I guess I'll be jealous about that while I continue to eke out my existence holding on to values where I'm not a snake. Or
Did he ever get? I don't. Hey, at least I don't know, because I remember when I had started talking on that, wanting to get my play buttons. Did he ever get his? I'd like probably the one channel ain't gonna be eligible no more because he don't have 100,000 subscribers on it. But yeah, like I just maybe on the bigger channel he might be able to, but. No, yeah, it's on, but on that new channel, I don't think he's ever going to get a play. If you like, he might be able to off of that the bigger channel. But I did, like, that's if he ain't had no guideline strikes or anything over the past however many years. Or I think, yeah, it's like it has to be a year. I have to like check the like the things that you like, the requirements that you have to meet to get in your plaque. But I mean, I guess, yeah, if he meets all the requirements, then he'd be able to get it. But if not, then it's like I don't think he'll ever get a plaque. It's one of those things where I just think that he's done so too much wrong to where YouTube will probably see that and notice it, and they were like, yeah, bro, nah, you ain't eligible on getting no plaque. Maybe, possibly, but anyways.
That cannot be said for Jar.
Is that it? I think that was, yeah, it just looks like it's kind of like the ending credits. That was a good video. No, yeah, shout out to Omegon for putting together this this video. Felt like it was definitely one of those things where, you know, you learned a little bit, you know, on his whereabouts and stuff. But no, yeah, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys go subscribe to Omegon for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too. I will talk to y'all later. I'm trying to hurry up and end this video because I don't want my power to shut out mid-video and mess this file up. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.